Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone. So excited for you to be tuning in to us right here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. You guys know the drill by now. You guys, good morning, Adam and Jeff.
Good morning.
And to Westy and to Fish in their respective booths. I'm so excited to talk about this game. I mean, this was practically what people were calling the Lions Super Bowl. They choked, obviously, but you know what? They started off hot, 10-0 lead coming out of the first quarter, but ultimately lost 28-19. Jeff, your initial thoughts on the game, please.
Yeah, the Lions had a lot of positive things go their way yesterday. We'll start with the fact that they had more total yards than the Rams, which was something that I did not expect. I mean, me and Adam sat up here and both agreed that they would lose by over 4 or 5 touchdowns. I mean, Adam picked maybe a little more than that, but nonetheless, you got the point. The Rams were supposed to come out, beat the brakes off the 0-6, now 0-7 Lions, but the Lions came out and they fought. I mean, besides the one, 66-yard DeAndre Swift receiving touchdown, which, we got a little lucky with. Jared Goff didn't make, we didn't score besides that. It was all field goals. But nonetheless, the defense was competitive. I loved what I saw out of them, but it came back to bite the team in the fourth quarter, though, when the team, you got a glimpse of why the Rams got rid of Jared Goff. You saw that horrid red zone interception. He forced to do a window to T.J. Hockenson. I think it was on Jalen Ramsey's side of the field anyway. So it was just an ill-advised throw. But the Lions kept this game extremely close. With the help of a couple Madden-esque fourth down conversions, like ridiculous cat out the bag plays that, you know what, I like out of Dan Campbell, not when you have a good team, but when your team is fighting in the trenches and you understand that, listen, we're supposed to lose by this team by a lot. I think the Lions were plus 750 on the
money
FanDuel,
line,
and
yep.
it was ridiculous. So he said, you know what? F it. We'll convert fourth downs, and look at, they were 3 for 3 until that.
I said this when the year started, man. I was like, this team has nothing to lose.
No, they're try and win the game.
They're going to play it with an effort mentality. And on 100%. Sunday, you saw them play Madden. They were playing a video game.
Yep.
They stole 3 possessions, and let's be really honest, okay? They stole 3 possessions from the Los Angeles Rams. If they don't do that, this is likely a 45-19 football game.
Yeah.
Maybe even less for the Lions on the scoring side. Jared Goff is Jared Goff. What do you guys want me to tell you this morning? I told you he's a bridge quarterback. Adam, he's won playoff games. Can we stop this now? I'm going to be very, very complimentary this morning, actually, about Dan Campbell. But it comes with just a minor question, but I'm curious, honestly. And I hope somebody here can answer, but I don't think none of us can right now. But does this team do anything great from a coaching standpoint? Like, is there like one thing you can point out week to week where you're like, oh, wow, that was really good. We can replicate that next week? Because you're still seeing the penalties. You're still seeing the mistakes on third down. You're still seeing busted coverage. You're still seeing zero creativity on the offensive side of the ball. But for some reason, it makes no sense that they're in these football games. They're in these football games, Jeff, they shouldn't be. And this isn't just, an occurrence, 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the year. We're 7 games in now, and this team just has a knack of being in football games. And football games, honestly, they shouldn't be in. And I think that's really a compliment to the coaching staff. So I think there's that. Now, how does that translate over time when you have a better roster, when you have the quarter? I'm not sure how it translates. All I know is right now, I can't pick out a great thing they do outside of somehow managing to stay in games, honestly, they have no business being a part of. Makes no sense. It's impressive. It's actually down to coaching. Like, I find it really impressive. But to kind of recap the game, they come out. DeAndre Swift does what DeAndre Swift does. You get him out in the open field. It was a perfect play call. You called a screenplay on a blitz. There's no more dangerous play in the NFL than calling a screenplay on a blitz. It absolutely just takes away the pressure for the rest of the game. Like, teams will second guess blitzing, knowing that you're willing to call a screen pass. So they go up and then they recover an onside kick, and then they go down, get a field goal, and then they allow Los Angeles to go down. They get a field goal. You're up 10-3. You're like, okay, we're feeling good about this right now. And the Lions get the ball back. And what do? They fake punt it. Not only once, they do it twice. They just didn't give a F, honestly. It was unbelievable to watch. It was a circus. It was hilarious. Like, I actually enjoyed the game a lot. Glad it wasn't a blowout. Let's be fair. I mean, I was one of them. I was one of the people that said, like, this could be really bad. But in context, damn near would have been. I mean, you didn't take 3 possessions away from Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I mean, they were 9-13 on third down. Stafford, again, throws for over 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The third time he's done it in a Los Angeles Rams uniform. You know how many times he did that in his 12 years in Detroit? 5 times. I don't know. I'm not sure. I do want to compliment the Lions for showing again that they fight and all this. Like, okay, I'm getting tired of the fight thing, but I'm noticing a trend that I can actually compliment the coaches on, because I can't give them the only coach that really deserves like praise week to week. I think has been Aaron Glenn. Of the 2 coordinators, he's done the much better job given what he's working with. He seems like the guy that's being more creative. He's the one drawing up blitzes and disguising them and hiding them in ways that are actually throwing off offenses, which is what you want to see out of your coordinator. And then you look at the head coach. He somehow not only has his team playing week to week, and let's be honest, they know they're not great, and they're still finding a way to come out, and it's not just about competing. They're actually somehow staying in these games. I don't get it. Like, I don't get how they're doing it. It's a compliment to their head coach. It's a compliment to the coaching staff in general. It's a game they probably should have been murdered, but you know what? They weren't. And they were up early. You take away the 10 points early on in the first, 3-4 minutes. They lost, 28-9. So the game kind of went how you expected it to go, but it was nice to see them come out and really, really show, like, hey, we're here to play football.
And at least try to control the time of possession. I mean, they controlled it, but they still ended up losing, to your point. So it was their original plan. Listen, keep Matthew Stafford off the field, because you know what happens when he's on the field. But I want to say something about the defense. They did a good job yesterday of stopping the run. They only allowed, 30 rushing yards for Darrell Henderson, who's been pretty good all year. So that's a positive. I think the Lions are dang near 30th in rushing defense. So that was something new that we've seen. And another thing I want to bring up is Penei Sewell and his fight. I mean, listen, the offensive line overall, Aaron Donald got quarterback pressures, didn't have a single sack. It was really Jalen Ramsey who was in the backfield, and he had the pick in the red zone from Jared Goff. It was really, they got, did a good job on Aaron Donald. I thought Penei Sewell played a pretty good game. He got in a little skirmish with Aaron Donald.
No. Don't undersell it. He didn't just play a pretty good game. He had a very good game.
Yeah, I mean, he did.
Look, yes, he wasn't responsible for Aaron Donald. I mean, you need 2-3 people to take care of that guy.
He took care of business, though.
And for him to have the balls to even try that after the
play.
Grab
his helmet. Dude.
Like, if I was 6'8", 330 pounds, I didn't care how strong I was.
Yeah.
I would not mess with Aaron Donald. I loved it from Penei Sewell. It was great.
100%. Yeah, he had to fight, and that's what you want to see. I mean, Penei Sewell all year, he's had a good game. The next game, he'll struggle. And then now, of course, versus the Rams, has a great game. So that's what you want to see. And another thing, with DeAndre Swift, I just want to say this real quickly. This is a guy who leads all running backs in receiving yards. Obviously, Kamara hasn't been as the Kamara we're used to seeing. So DeAndre Swift is playing extremely well. If he can just get it together in terms of rushing yards, because he's not, you could talk about not being utilized enough. I mean, the guy's getting 10-plus carries a game. So he's getting utilized enough to at least have production. So I love what I see out of DeAndre Swift. I think he's really the light in a lot of darkness with this Detroit Lions team. And, T.J. Hockenson, he had a pretty good game last night up until that red zone. Jared Goff tried to hit him in a tight window. But
it was a poor decision.
Yeah, it was a poor decision.
He was under pressure.
He threw it to Jalen Ramsey. It was a horrible decision. But other than that, I love Dan Campbell's intention at the beginning of the game. Like, listen, we understand. Keep Matthew Stafford off the field. Like, I love it. I mean, it shows you're at least.
They kept the entire Rams sideline on their toes. Like, what the hell is going on?
Sean McVay was doing the forehead rub the whole game.
Sean McVay, if you paid attention to the sideline, after the first fake punt, Sean McVay was like, all right, you got us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't happening again. Cool. Goes and talks to his special teams coach. Everything seems okay. They do it again. And Sean McVay, the face he made, my goodness, the anger coming out of him. It was kind of funny to watch, but
yeah, I know, he was so mad. And people were saying, I saw our guy Maz tweet, the Wonder Boy got out coached. I'm like, all right, let's slow down a little bit.
No,
I don't think he got out coached.
Again, this is where the Lion fan base kind of like gets a bit ridiculous. They didn't out coach.
They had coached a
They
decent game. They
out coached the Rams for 5 minutes, and it was the first 5 minutes of the game. And the rest of the game, the Lions were able to do what we all know they can do well, run the football. And they showed that you can run against the Rams' defensive front, which is impressive. But they have Jared Goff, and that's what Jared Goff gives you guys. Sorry.
100%.
That's Jared Goff. You'll get down the field. When you rely on your quarterback dumping it down every single time and getting it down the field one play at a time, one play 4 yards here, 4 yards here, 5 yards, it's exhausting. It's mentally exhausting to ask your quarterback to drop back 8, 9 times, try to read the coverage, and dump it underneath. I mean, it was a bad performance from Jared Goff. The receivers, guys, I'm on Ross St. Brown. Golden Tate himself, right? That's what you guys like to call him, right? Keep telling me he's Golden Tate. I understand he's a rookie, but you're the ones holding him accountable and to that expectation. It makes no sense to me, that standard that he should be this good this early on. I don't understand it. Khalif Raymond was the only wide receiver with more than 1 catch.
Bobby Price had more catches than Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's a defensive player. So it's all right, though. Give him some time. I get what you're saying, though. You got to hold him accountable.
They didn't out-execute the Rams. No, they didn't. Guys, they were 9 of 13 on third. The Rams were 9 of 13 on third down. If they out-executed the Rams, they would have won the football game. Can we stop this? They had a great opening 5 minutes. They pulled everything out of the book. They totally caught Los Angeles off guard. It was exactly what you would have expected. And what did they do? Well, then they have an average quarterback. And what happens? You can't execute when you have an average quarterback.
Yep.
And when you have a great quarterback like the Los Angeles Rams do, you go 9 of 13 on third down, you execute, and you score touchdowns, not just field goals.
And
that's the difference. So you didn't out-execute the Los Angeles Rams. You out-coached them for the first 3, 4, 5 minutes. That was great. But no.
I won't give them out-execute because you saw the LA Rams have not attempted a 2-point conversion all year. They attempt one. Matthew Stafford flawless. Go right to Robert Woods for the 2-point conversion. If you look at their red zone opportunities or 2-point conversions, you're looking mostly at the quarterback. I mean, Jared Goff in the red zone, the Detroit Lions have been awful this year, so it's hard. And when you saw it, they drove all the way up the field. I know all Lions fans watching that game were wondering, okay, in the red zone, let's see what we can do. You're at least guaranteed to get a chance. And what do you have? Jared Goff, there was a heartbreaking turnover. Something that Sean McVay had PTSD looking at. He's like,
Sean McVay has been already proven right.
Yep.
They're 7 games in.
He's proven right.
Stafford, you want to drop his numbers, go give me a 7-game sample of Jared Goff, compare it to Matthew Stafford. I promise you it's not even close. Even during his most elite year, I believe it was year 3, he is nowhere near the quarterback or the level of play that Stafford is giving the Rams. The Rams have already won the deal. Now they need to win the division, win some playoff games, get to an NFC championship game, and maybe go and win a Super Bowl. Those are their expectations. But Jared Goff is awful. And for all of you in the preseason, you put the right pieces around him, they're going to win games. Shut up. This team is bad. We know it is. This is not a... It's not a, just beat up on the Lions day. It is. I'm telling you, I was surprised in a good way. And I'm going to compliment the head coach because somehow, some way, they've been involved in games they've had no business being involved in.
With poor quarterback play.
With poor offense, just across the board on offense, honestly. Aaron Glenn has done a phenomenal job. We talked about it before the season started. It has the way the offense has played and the way the defense have played is totally not what we even expected. No. I expected the defense to play better, but not with this amount of injuries. I mean, they've played above their own expectation. Goff, this should be out of the league, I think, by the end of the year, if not next year at the latest. We'll see what happens. But Goff isn't a quarterback anymore. That's it. And no, the Lions, again, guys, it was a great game to watch. It was fun. The Lions did not have a chance to win that football game. After 10-0, the Rams went down, answered with a field goal. The Lions, again, pulled off another, drive, got a field goal out of it. The Rams went down and scored, and then the Rams went down and scored, and then the Rams went down and scored, and then the Rams went down and scored. Come on. And that's with your defense actually playing, pretty good.
And even if Jared Goff converts that red zone opportunity, I think they still have time left to come down and score. So, hey.
I'm just saying, no, you were not in that game. Please don't drink too much Kool-Aid this morning. It was really good performance, but you were never going to win that game even with a better quarterback. There are levels to this. It's not just about Jared Goff. He's awful. But the Lions have a ton of holes. They do. They're 8-9 players away from being a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys. Well, I will say one thing regarding Dan Campbell. Sean McVay did say that they were prepared for all of those crazy things, what he's calling the kitchen sink of plays that Dan Campbell threw out there. He said they were ready for them, but Dan Campbell did outcoach them for those first couple minutes. So that's a lot coming from a head coach like Sean McVay. So I love that for Dan Campbell, but I'll just leave it there. Coming up next, we're going to talk about our team that did win, the Red Wings. So stick around for that. What a great game we had last night. But before we go, we need to hear about the people that keep it cool over at Northwestern Tech.
All right, listen, if Jared Goff keeps up these performances, I know a school for him or anybody else. It's Northwestern Tech. And you could start a new career in an industry that is always essential. It's the heating and cooling industry. And you can learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. As promised, you guys, the Red Wings, they took on the Blackhawks last night, beating them 6-3. Half of those goals scored by our very own Lucas Raymond, making him the first teenage Red Wing to net a hat trick since Yzerman did it in 1985. What a guy and what a game. We're still seeing Larkin getting cross-checked and banged up out there. It's a bunch of crap. But, Jeffrey, your thoughts on the Wings game last night?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, you say what you want about the Chicago Blackhawks and say what you want about Marc-Andre Fleury, who's actually having a pretty bad season. I mean, he's never had below a 90% shot, save percentage, and now he's at 84. So, but more importantly, let's talk about the rookie. And Adam, you just read we were talking about history earlier, him being one of the only 3 guys now. It's
Gordie Howe, Steve Yzerman.
Gordie Howe. See, that's impressive. And he took 4 shots, got a hat trick, and more importantly, Mo Sider too. Played absolutely amazing defense. He was all over the place, being physical. And the Chicago Blackhawks came out and played the more physical game. And the Red Wings still found a way to come back, score goals and play together. But I love what I saw out of all the guys. Bertuzzi, Larkin, 3 assists, doing what they do, and the team really battling on the road. But I feel like a broken record saying this. I mean, they had 8 power play opportunities. They didn't only convert it on 1. That's something that a young team, they're going to get better at throughout the year. Hopefully for years to come, they're better in that area. You can't have 8 power play opportunities, come away with 1 goal. But other than that, it's going to take a chunk of the season to really know what this team is as a whole. But as of right now, you praise the young guys. You praise the development. And Lucas Raymond, my God. I mean, he didn't have any
4 points. 4 points, only the 3rd teenager in Detroit Red Wings history to do that. And let's just say that's pretty great company. Gordie Howe and Steve Yzerman. Detroit, you hit a home run. You really did. Enjoy this kid. Enjoy him for the next 12, 14, 15 years. Oh, my goodness. Thank goodness they didn't get the number 1 overall pick.
Thank goodness.
Honestly. And I promise you, there are 3 teams right now and probably down the line that will regret not taking a chance on Lucas Raymond. My goodness, Steve Yzerman, you magician. Congratulations. Great job.
Magic.
They looked really good. Again, it was one of those nights where everything was going in for both teams. It's kind of weird watching the Wings. But, again, this is what you're going to expect all year. Is they're going to come out and they're going to look flat, or they're going to come out and everything's going to be working. And they're going to be inconsistent, but it's a young team. Bertuzzi added a goal. I believe, what is that, 6th goal?
Yeah.
7th goal?
He's like top 6 in the league, top 7 in goals
regardless,
scored.
I can't compliment Lucas Raymond enough. To get a hat trick this early on, like the kid is special. He's playing on the line with Dylan Larkin on the power play. He's sitting up there getting himself an open ice. He's very quiet in how he skates, and what I mean by that is he's not garnering attention. He doesn't skate heavy. He's not demanding the puck, screaming. So he's going unnoticed, and that's what really set up, I believe, his second goal, where he was skating in the center of the ice, center of the zone, and nobody caught him.
And people are coming after him, man.
And he got the puck and finished 5-hole, and the rest is history. Got a hat trick later on in the game. I mean, the kid is just smart. I haven't seen a young kid play with this kind of mind in Detroit since Pavel Datsyuk. Kid's impressive. And it really looks like the Wings hit on Sider and Raymond. I mean, Kennedy, that's unbelievable.
They both
Wings
have
look good. Wings look
5
good.
goals in 6 games, I think. Insanity. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, he went in with 1 goal, 2 assists in his first 5 career NHL games.
Yeah.
Then he adds 3 in 1.
Yeah, didn't have a point his first game, comes out, now he has a hat trick 5 games in. Like, the guy is just getting it quickly. So that's what you want to see. And we talk about this every single time the Wings play. Like, my God, Lucas Raymond has a target on his back. And, luckily Bertuzzi, Larkin, and those guys stick up for him. But, man, he's still finding a way to produce. And that's, like you said, thank God we didn't have the number 1 pick. And more importantly, thank God we have Yzerman selecting for us.
It's not, again, if you have somebody who's competent and very good at their job, it doesn't matter where you pick. That's
100%.
why the Rams have Aaron Donald and the Lions don't. Right? So if you do have the number 1 pick every single year, that doesn't guarantee anything. It does help. Don't get me wrong, especially in a league where if you have the guy, I mean, building around him can easily be done. We've seen it with Crosby. We've seen it with Ovechkin. We've seen it now with McDavid to an extent. If you have the guy, I mean, you can pretty much book it for the next 12, 15 years. You're going to be competitive.
Yep.
But regardless, Yzerman's building something special, Jeff. And Hockeytown is going to be very relevant very soon.
It might be on its track the fastest. I mean, I would say over the Pistons and both the Lions, this team is on
100%.
acceleration, man. I mean, they're moving quick. So
look, you don't have that kind of a historic night and it doesn't get talked about and mentioned and praised for. Again,
100%.
like Kennedy, we're talking a hat trick for a 19-year-old. What the hell were you doing at 19?
What have we done at 19? Nothing.
19, I was at community college contemplating dropping out.
Yeah. 19,
This
I was
kid's
sad
scoring a
over
hat trick
boy.
in the NHL. Unbelievable.
I was probably playing NHL 19.
There you go.
Scoring hat tricks in the game. Now this man's doing it in real life. So credit to him, man. It's
I'm so
terrific.
happy for the Red Wings. I'm happy for the fan base, city in general. Steve Yzerman, man, clap it up. Good for you.
And he's watching a guy
Way
who
to
just
walk into
made
a
history.
franchise that has been on the down for a good 10, 12 years now.
Yeah.
Even when they were still making the playoffs, they weren't that same team. They weren't the Wings you were so accustomed to watching. The playoff streak ended. They went into this really cold streak where they're bottom tier of the league. And now you have young, up-and-coming, exciting players. I mean, it's great. It's just great all around. I mean, D-Mac was right on the Wings. 100% right. I mean, they're coming. And they'll be young, and the next game they'll probably only score 1 goal. And they'll lose 5-1. But then the next game they'll score 4. And it's just a young team. They're going to go through their growing pains. This is their reality. We have a few minutes to spare, so...
I'm going to get your thoughts on Jeff Blashill real quick, just to finish it out. I know it's too early, but what do you think?
Man, look, I said it even before they re-signed him and after they re-signed him. He's not the guy to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's going to be here for the next 2-3 years while this team is growing and developing. And once they reach their ceiling of a 44, 48 win team with this head coach, they're going to move on, bring in the guy that wins them 50, 51, 52 games, and it gets them deeper into the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, that's how I see it happening. I think most people would agree with you, too.
I just think that's how it plays out.
Because, I mean, I still expect him to be right outside the playoff picture. I mean, 30-something wins for me, I predict. I mean, that's a pretty, substantial, win total. So,
I
don't know other than
I'm
that.
going to disagree a little bit with our chat this morning. I understand
What's
they're...
new?
Well, no. They're praising Ken Holland and Scotty. To an extent, yes, he did learn and absorbed a lot of knowledge. But what Steve Yzerman has done that Ken Holland honestly could really never do post-2005, 2006 was draft.
Yeah.
Ken Holland famous for the free agent signings, the overseas scouting, getting the kids from Russia, and then teams adapted and they were like, oh wow, there's talent there. We're going to start scouting there, which means teams were starting to pick up on this, and they became, familiar with what the Red Wings were doing, and everyone bought in on it. Cool. Ken Holland, post-2006, really struggled to nail any draft picks, and that's why you kind of saw them fall off post-2013, 14. I would even say before then, 2011, 12 was really the prime years where it just went away. Steve Yzerman can rebuild with nothing. Why? Because he can hit in the draft.
Yeah. Recognized talent.
Kucherov is what? Top 3 player in the NHL?
Second round, he found him.
Second round pick. You have Sider now, Raymond. Team's getting better. Ken Holland could deal it, make the deals, trades, free agents, all that. Could never draft at this level. And that's what really held him back. I mean, that's a guy that could be a GM for 30 years of one organization and build like something special if he could just figure out how to draft. Yep. But he could never. He can never figure out how to draft.
Epic said it well. He said, terrible builder, great sustainer. So he'd keep it alive for you, but maybe it's not necessarily the greatest for talent recognition like Yzerman is. But
I agree. Blashill, to close on him, he's the guy for the next 2 years, I think, and then you move on. Kennedy, what do you think of Raymond?
Oh, I'm so happy with him. I'm so glad. I always see this like meme, and it's like people being mad where the Wings fell in the draft, but it's like, no, he should be mad that he fell that late. You know what I mean? So we got really, really lucky there. But I don't know if you guys know this. The Blackhawks and Blackhawks fans are actually, like, they don't like the franchise right now. They think they're in a rebuild, which is funny to me because they still have Jonathan Taves. They've got Kaner. He was out last night.
They're so old, though. I mean, this is like us when we had Zetterberg and Datsuk at, 34, 38, 5 years old? I mean, come on.
But I was seeing tweets that people were at, like, these bars in Chicago, and the fans had all flipped, and they were all cheering, like, let's go Red Wings. Like, they do not like their own franchise right now, and I think it's pretty entertaining to see all over Twitter. So the Blackhawks and the Blackhawks fans, they are on the struggle bus. And then obviously Patrick Kane was out last night, COVID-19 protocol. So, but you're saying he's sold. You don't think it would have made any difference?
No.
To me, he's still like that explosive player in my head.
I mean, he'll make plays every once in a while. Every other night, he'll do something special. But
right.
That's the glory days for the Blackhawks are done.
Yeah,
I mean, when they went on those Stanley Cup runs, it was phenomenal to watch.
Awesome.
A young Jonathan Taves, a young Patrick Kane. That's it. They're done. That time is over. They are in a rebuild. It's obvious.
Yeah, and then you trade for a 36-year-old goalie who's struggling. He's a shell. So
again, you're trying to make the most. It's like what the Red Wings did. Again, Ken Holland did the same stuff.
Yep.
He kept his team 2-3 playoff years longer than it probably could have or should have been. And at what cost? I mean, it took forever to rebuild the team. And it took a new GM, and I'm glad it was Steve Yzerman because the guy has proven he can get it done in the draft. So there you go. There's that.
All right. Well, I like it. And something else that I like is all of the tricks that Dan Campbell had up his sleeve. Jack Fox throwing the ball was so unexpected. I tweeted Jack Fox for QB1, and I will stick to it. We will cover all of those surprises coming up next. But first, I bet through MyBookie over the weekend. I don't know about you guys, but Adam will tell you all about them.
Absolutely. When it comes to gambling, you want to make sure you're betting the best bang for your buck. What does that mean? You want to make sure you're getting the best odds. And who provides the best odds? No one other than MyBookie. Bet from anywhere, anytime using the MyBookie website. Sign up today using code Woodward. They'll match your deposit up to 50%. You put in $100, they'll give you $50. You put in $200, they'll give you $100. Guys, MyBookie, again, sign up using code Woodward. Monday Night Football tonight. You got Pistons action tonight. Lots of games to bet on. So, again, don't forget, sign up using code Woodward. They will match your deposit. And please, if you do have a gambling problem, call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. Happy Monday, by the way. I haven't said that to you guys yet. I hope you have a beautiful start to your week. But now we have to talk about the kitchen sink, as Sean McVay called it, that Dan Campbell had up his sleeve. So we're going to recap all the play calling for you guys, our thoughts on his coaching, our thoughts on Jack Fox. You guys, onside kick, 2 fake punts. We have some of the video footage for you guys, but let's start with fake punt number 1. What were your thoughts when that happened? I was floored, but you guys, I want to hear it from you.
Dan Campbell and his coaching staff were playing Madden.
They're playing
and
Madden.
why? Because they need to play Madden to even have a chance at winning football games this year. Why? Not because they're terrible coaches. No. The roster's not that very good. It's not good at all. The roster's not good, and it has a ceiling. And you probably beat the declining Philadelphia Eagles this weekend, and maybe Atlanta, but Atlanta's now 3-3.
Yep.
So that's kind of no longer a gimme. It's a bad roster. So this is what they need to do. Whether it's a fake punt, fake field goal, you want a quarterback sneak, you want to hand it off to the lineman. I don't know.
Or 4th and 1. You go for it.
Like, look.
Don't matter.
Guys, I really mean this in the most honest and, positive way. Dan Campbell can be reckless right now and gung-ho and go for it on every situation. That's great. But I really want to see how this team plays with Dan Campbell when they're actually a good roster, a good football team. I want to see how he actually handles these situations, right? So when the Lions are a respectable team, let's say in a year or two, and they're projected to be winning 9-10 games this season, well, okay. What do you do on the road against a good team? Do you actually come out that aggressive? And if you make it, everyone loves you. If you don't, everyone hates you, and you cost yourself on the road. But I'm curious how this translates years from now, not just today. But let me tell you, Kennedy, I'm going to answer your first question. What I think of the fake throw, the fake punt, and the throw by Jack Fox.
And then
he's a better quarterback than Jared Goff.
Period.
Somebody has to say it. Jack Fox should be the starting quarterback of the Detroit Lions.
He had an onside, too. He was playing well.
He should be the starting quarterback of this football team. Jared
Threw a
Goff,
beautiful ball.
They're not very good at all. But jokes aside, look, that's what they had to do. Guys, if they didn't do it, they likely lose that football game 38-3, 38-10, somewhere around that margin. That's realistically how that game plays out.
Yep.
They were never in the game. I know you guys tell me, well, statistically, they had a chance. No. Even when they were up 10-0, one sideline was agitated and raring to go. The other was calm and down 10 points. That's how it played out. And then they went down, and they got a field goal. And then they went down, and then they got a touchdown. And then they went down, and they got a touchdown. And then they went down, and they got another touchdown. They just didn't really have an answer. And again, the Lions stole 3 possessions from the Rams. The Lions did everything they could. The coaches did everything they could. They tried their hardest. I just think this football team's not very good. And I told you I wasn't going to evaluate Dan Campbell this year. Is why. He could make a million decisions that are actually good for the football team, and you probably don't even see them on Sunday. Because the roster's just not that very good. They can't execute. The quarterback position is in shambles. Awful. But you got 2 first-round picks out of it, which is why by year 3, this should be a actually pretty good football team. What a shocker. Of course. You give Brad Holmes 3 drafts and this coaching staff the 3rd year. I think this should be a football team in 3 years. That's an 8, 9, 10-win football team. Minimum. And I'm not asking for much. I'm giving you 3 entire drafts, 3 entire off seasons to become a 9, 10-win football team. a team that can compete for the division, a team that you look into the future and say, wow, I can see where this team is going. You re-up Dan Campbell, you re-up the coaching staff, you re-sign players. Get to that point. But you're not there right now. You're not. So it's impossible to evaluate this coaching staff. Outside of Aaron Glenn, 10 out of 10. Honestly, for what he's doing with what he has, and Alex Anzalone becoming the heart and soul of that defense, it's impressive. It really is. It really is.
I think if you look at Dan Campbell as a job he's done his first year, I agree with you. It's hard to evaluate him because I'm one of the ones who sat up here and said the best way to evaluate any head coach, especially Dan Campbell, is surround him with talent. Then you could judge. You judge him. I mean, we talk about Jim Caldwell all the time. There's times where he was winning, and there's times where he wasn't with very good talent. So now you're looking at Dan Campbell. This year, not expected to win very many games. Did we expect it to be winless? No. I sat up here and said 5 to 6 wins. I did not expect it to be winless through 7 weeks, but that's the reality of it. And I think Dan Campbell knows that the pressure's looming to get a win, but also at the same time, you keep your number 1 overall projected draft odds. So it is a win-win. But for Dan, I like the approach of this game. You come out, you understand that on the opposing side, you're facing Cooper Kupp, who's the active NFL leader in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. You're going against Matthew Stafford, who's probably, I think he's got the best quarterback rating, him and Tom Brady, and he's second in touchdowns. So it's an electrifying offense, and we know what they are defensively, but at least Dan Campbell recognizes the fact that, listen, we got to go for it early and at least get a chance. I agree with you. When you're up 10-0, I mean, I wasn't sitting over here going, "Let's go, we're gonna win this game." I mean, listen. The Rams have come back for more. And
I mean, you were kind of cheesing on Sunday. You were excited.
The only time I was saying "Let's go" was the 66-yard breakaway. I was like, "All right, what a way to start the game." But after that, I'm like, "Listen, Matthew Stafford, he's the king of fourth quarter comebacks. We know this. We're Detroit fans. We know this. He comes back fourth quarter, they drive, get a touchdown. So it is what it is. But I do love his approach. But I want to say this: you can take a couple things away from the first year, I believe, in terms of.
What is it? I'm sorry?
You could take a couple things away in terms of looking at Dan Campbell and the job he's done. I don't think it's necessarily, like you said, still penalties. I mean, there's a lot of stuff this team's going to do bad because of the talent, the lacking of talent, and just being young. I mean, you can blame it on that, whatever the case may be. But I look at it, and this is not going to carry over. I mean, we've talked about this before. I don't think they're going to be a team that plays hard every single year because that's not an identity you want. This team hasn't found an identity yet because there isn't a large enough sample size and there's not enough talent. So in terms of looking at Dan Campbell, I think just how the players, he's gotten a lot out of these guys. I mean, listen, Jerry Jacobs, I know he had the pass interference in the first quarter, but he's been kind of a light in the dark on this team. I mean, he has had some bad plays, had some great games. So, and for a secondary that's struggling, I mean, we talk about Aaron Glenn. He is in control of that defense, but the credit kind of does all go back to Dan Campbell a little bit. I mean, Aaron Glenn, I think he's been doing a tremendous job. I don't know if Anthony Lynn will be the offensive coordinator even next year. I think Dan needs someone young, innovative, and can kind of just take over this offense.
100%.
He can't just let Dan can say, "Hey, man, it's all you. Take it over."
Or Anthony Lynn really needs to get more creative.
100%.
We saw it early on. What the hell? What the hell?
I
It
know.
happens every week.
I know.
This guy comes out and shows you something. You're like, guys, the RPO action and the misdirection on the TJ Hawkinson throw early on in the game. Everything was going right. If you're facing the screen, everything was going to the right of you, and then Hawkinson was coming back over the middle. It totally set up. It was a perfect play call. Only saw it called once in the game. Nothing else remotely similar to that. I don't understand what Anthony Lynn
doesn't
is
use
thinking.
a lot of motion. I agree with you. Anthony Lynn.
No, he does. He sends a ton of people in motion. But you know what he
Still
doesn't
doesn't
do?
do nothing.
They're not audibling. They're not changing the play up at the line of scrimmage. They could care less if you're in man or zone. They're running their play. They'll send Khalif Raymond
That
in
could
motion.
be Jared Goff,
He'll be
too.
running. Look,
But still,
I'm just saying.
both of them.
I saw the Rams do the exact same thing, except there was clear communication from the sideline to the quarterback. They went in with 2 plays. 1 play if it was zone, 1 play if it was man. I don't even know if Jared Goff is even capable of understanding 1 play at the moment. So, look, Anthony Lynn's got to be better. He's got to be more creative. It's not about just being better. We know the offense is going to struggle. Now, if you're one of those delusional people that thinks the offense is really great, that's on you. But, look, I need Anthony Lynn to put Hawkinson in motion. I need him to put DeAndre Swift in motion. Get some creativity going. Mm-hmm. You called a perfect play. Your best play call of the year was on what? 3rd and 8? 3rd and 7, whatever it was for DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
You called it perfectly. You knew they were dialing
Countered
up the
it
pressure.
perfectly.
You called a screenplay. They weren't sending the blitz for the rest of the day. Great job. You still couldn't take advantage of it. I don't understand the play calling from Anthony Lynn. Now, again, I know Jared Goff's not the best quarterback. Absolutely. I agree 100%. But make it easier on your quarterback. Scheme people open like the Rams do. Call plays that get people open, not just call plays and let's see which matchup we win. Because you're not going to win most of the matchups. That's the reality, Jeff.
And it might even frustrate. I mean, listen, I'll give Anthony Lynn a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because you have a guy in Jared Goff who's scared to throw it more than 25 yards. So if you have an offensive coordinator, I don't even know if Anthony Lynn can draw up any shot plays because he doesn't have a quarterback who's attempting any of the shots. I saw one shot for Khalif Raymond. He had it looked like an outside. He was running straight. He had, I think it was, I don't know who the safety was on LA, but he had him beat by at least 2-3 yards. Jared Goff hesitated, and it was a pump fake. I think the cameraman got bit on the pump fake, too.
I feel so bad for the state of Michigan.
And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I feel awful for the state of Michigan right now.
Why?
Because Cade McNamara is your starting quarterback in Ann Arbor, and then you have this bum starting for the Detroit Lions. My goodness. You could swap Jared Goff and Cade McNamara. You'd both get the same results. God, they're so bad. So bad.
Well,
Anthony
Adam,
Lynn, a bit overrated for me right now. Not looking good at all. I'm not happy with the job
They're calling him
he's doing.
Jim Bob Cooter 2.0.
Hey.
But at least Jim Bob Cooter has a cool name. You know
I was
what
going to say, I was just going to say that.
A.
I miss
Lynn, I
saying
mean, that's
Cooter all
kind
the
of
time.
a cool nickname.
It
A.
is
Lynn.
cool. But Jim
I
Bob
don't know.
Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter is the most ridiculous name I've ever heard. But, Adam, I'm really glad you brought up Cade McNamara because up next, we're going to walk you through all of Adam's tweets from the weekend that were, he has some feelings about Cade McNamara. If you can't tell, we'll talk about J.J. McCarthy. We'll get to all of that when we come back. But first, I obviously have to tell you about my friends over at Legacy Partners Insurance. You guys, I'm sure you realized when you watch games, you're always bombarded with insurance ads that promise to save you money. But if you really want to save money, you need my new sponsor, Legacy Partners Insurance. They're independent, so they shop between 7 and 10 carriers for your insurance needs. So here's what I need you to do. Call 586-209-4106 and tell them that Kennedy sent you, not Maz. I know there's a hashtag Team Maz going around, but we're hashtag Team Kennedy on this show, so tell them I sent you. And just for doing so, you will be put in a drawing for a $50 gift card. So go to or call legacypartnersins.com/Woodward today.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for taking time out of your Monday to hang out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. You guys, if you follow Adam on Twitter, which I recommend because it is very, very entertaining, he was going off about this weekend. I know you have a lot to say on the topic, but the Wolverines have 2 quarterbacks that they need to keep happy right now. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy. But, Adam, what are your thoughts on both of these quarterbacks? And do you think, I know your answer, McNamara deserves to be taking as many snaps as he is?
McNamara should be given the first flight out of Detroit immediately. I mean, the guy sucks. And you know what kills me the most is that, he's a game manager. Well, what the hell is that? 20 of 27 for 128 yards. Well, we won the game, Adam. That's all that matters. We're undefeated. Good luck against Michigan State and Ohio State this season, honestly. Good luck, U of M. With that guy as your quarterback, good freaking luck. Cade McNamara is awful. He just is. Oh my goodness, it's bad enough on Saturday I have to watch Cade McNamara. Then I have to turn on the TV on Sunday and watch Jared Goff. God hates the city of, just the state in general, honestly. What is this? What's up with this quarterback play? It's so bad. It's so bad. You know what drives me nuts more than anything is that you see J.J. McCarthy in for a few plays, and he shows you that that impact player, X factor kind of guy. And then you see Cade McNamara just come back and hand it off to Hassan Askins, hand it off to Blake Corum, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then throw the 2-yard underneath route, and then throw the 3-yard underneath route, and then throw the 4-yard underneath route, and then he throws a 7-yard pass. And then you're like, holy crap, he's so good. 20 of 27. Imagine averaging 4.8 yards a throw as a collegiate quarterback playing for an undefeated Big Ten team.
When your run game's going. Like, go away. And you still
Michigan
can't
could
throw
be
it.
so much more dynamic if they just started Cade McNamara. It's actually really
JJ,
frustrating.
JJ.
Excuse me, JJ
Can't twist that up.
McCarthy. Sorry, I'm just so obsessed with this kid because he's very frustrating to watch. 90th in the country in pass yards. Well, Adam, they have the number 1 rushing attack. Why would they need to throw the football?
They have to.
Well, okay. He's tied for 110th in passing touchdowns. Well, you can run the ball every time. No. Against good teams, you can't run the football always in. So you're gonna actually have to throw the football. So 5 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns in 4 conference games. Good luck winning the Big Ten, guys. Honestly. And I'm saying this for you. I want Michigan to be great. I want Michigan to win the Big Ten. But you're not going to do it with Cade McNamara. And if McNamara, which he likely is starting in East Lansing on Saturday, I promise you every single MSU fan is licking their chops. They are so excited to see Cade McNamara start in East Lansing. Why? I've said it from day one. Cade McNamara can lose you football games. He can't win you them. And that's the harsh reality. And Harbaugh should know better. He's had this problem since he's been at Michigan. He hasn't had the quarterback. Dude, the freshman is right there. And you want to talk about, you don't want to play the kid. Trevor Lawrence comes to mind. Colt McCoy. Sam Bradford, Peyton Manning. Isn't there a freshman quarterback playing in college football right now? I forget his name. Oklahoma, I think. Oh, yeah, Caleb Williams. There's a freshman playing, doing just fine. Play J.J. McCarthy. Enough of this. You actually have an opportunity to win the Big Ten, potentially, by having this kid as your quarterback. He is that dynamic, that good. He can escape the pocket. There are times where McNamara drops back, it's a sack. But if it's J.J. McCarthy, he's rolling out an open space. Receivers are breaking off their routes. It creates chaos in the secondary. And that's what J.J. McCarthy offers you that Cade McNamara doesn't. So, if you're a State fan, I'm sure you're happy Monday morning. You know what? Cade McNamara coming to town. Can't wait. But sorry, you're not going to win the Big Ten with him as your quarterback. You're just not. You're going to win a lot of games because you have a dominant run game, a dominant O-line, and a very good defense. Good. That'll win you 9-10 games. You're not beating Ohio State. You're not beating Michigan State, especially this version of Michigan State. And if Cade McNamara finishes with the stat line 20 of 27 for 128 yards against Michigan State, you've probably lost by 2 touchdowns. So when are you going to ask of your quarterback to actually help you win football games, Jeff? Because I think this is the week to go all in on J.J. McCarthy. Let him loose. There's not enough film on him. Let him loose against Michigan State. I think it gives you a real chance to not just win, but really a significant win. I think Michigan can win by 2 touchdowns if J.J. McCarthy is a starter. Now, with McNamara starting, I think it's a close game. It's a toss-up. I think either team can win this football game.
Yeah, they're facing a team in MSU as a top 10 offense and defense. So if you look at, Cade McNamara, a guy who, hasn't been able to throw the long ball. I mean, you just named it, 20 for 27. So if you see that stat line on any quarterback, you're expecting, okay, 20 for 27. He threw the ball efficiently. Probably over 200 yards, right? No. Cade, 129 yards. He didn't have to do a lot, but that's the thing. When people say, well, he didn't have to throw the ball. We were running the ball efficiently. Yes, but there's going to be times where you can't run the ball. So what do? When you need to convert a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, 3rd and even 10. I mean, you can't do it with Cade. And J.J. McCarthy has the ability to use his legs. He did it twice, when he had the short amount of playing time. And he, 2 rushes for 36 yards, 18 yards per carry. I mean, this is a guy who can make plays with his legs. I believe better arm than Cade. A lot of people believe younger, more potential.
No. It's not even that he has. It's not even close. He's got a special arm.
As a freshman.
As a freshman. He's 18. I don't care. The kid is special. Wake up, Ann Arbor. You've got something. What the hell are you waiting for? Oh, when you lose in East Lansing, when you lose to Ohio State, then you just start him in the bowl game? You can't redshirt him anymore. He's already played in 5 games. What are you waiting for? Writing's on the wall.
We'll see.
You start that kid, I'm telling you, this football team has a chance to win the Big Ten. I'm not joking. I'm talking maybe even going undefeated. Why? The run game is that good. The O-line is that good. The defense is that good. Now, they're limited at wide receiver and quarterback right now. How do you open up your passing game? You have a mobile, dynamic quarterback who can create space, get out of the pocket, have receivers break out of routes where they're not open, and then they suddenly get open.
Yep.
J.J. McCarthy is the answer. I'm sorry.
And look at all these other teams in the Big Ten. You have Ohio State. They can run the ball. They have C.J. Stroud, who's a freshman, may I add, can throw the ball. You look at even a sophomore at MSU, Peyton Thorne, can throw the ball efficiently, and they have Kenneth Walker who can run the ball. Michigan's the only team out of those 3 that can run the ball, probably arguably better because of the dynamic. They have 2 guys who can get you over 100 yards. They can't throw the ball. I mean, and they could get exposed next week, and we'll see. Like if Kate starts out against Michigan State at Michigan State, and he starts playing, I don't know if JJ will start, but let me tell you this. Don't be surprised if he comes in. If they go down by, 2 touchdowns, Cade's not pulling you out of that hole. There's no way.
You could be down by a touchdown. Cade's not pulling you out of that hole. I'm being so serious.
No,
I'm not joking now. The kid can't drive the ball down the field. He just can't. He can't make sideline throws. You know what's so ironic is Cade McNamara played that whole game 20 of 27. Wow, over 65% completion percent, whatever the number is. McCarthy walks in, hits a 15-yard comeback route to the sideline. No chance in hell Cade McNamara makes that throw. And if he does, it's probably taken to the house for a pick 6. That's the reality. One kid has it, the other doesn't. What are you waiting for, Jim? What are you waiting for? I'm getting so tired of this. Don't throw away this roster. Don't throw away this 7-0 start. Don't do it.
No.
Don't waste it. And Michigan fans, you should be up in arms on the streets in Ann Arbor demanding number 9 as the starting quarterback on Saturday. I'm not joking now. I'm tired of this story. I said it from week 1. Start the damn freshman. Cade McNamara will make you 5-0 and everything will look good. He's not winning you the big games on the road. He's not beating Ohio State at home. Why? Because he can't throw the football. And last I checked, when you're a quarterback, you need to throw the football. Jesus. What are we doing?
And we just said it.
Harbaugh, don't throw this away, man. You look so good right now. Your value is the highest it's ever been outside of year 1 and 2 at Michigan. You finally look good. You hired the young guys around you. Mike McDonald looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is working for you. Don't throw it away in East Lansing because you're going to trust some good-looking quarterback who can't throw the football. Enough. I don't care if he's number 12. He sure as hell is number 12 by definition. Can't throw. Can't lead his team down the field. Relies on Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins to move the ball downfield, guys. Come on. Imagine running RPOs with J.J. McCarthy and Hassan Haskins, Blake Corum. Teams would be absolutely nervous as hell, and it totally opens up the play calling for Josh Gaddis. Why? Because you can run RPO. You're going to hold the end. You're going to give the option of the quarterback, hey, do I see a hole for the running back? If I do, I'm going to give it to him. If not, I'm pulling it. If the end commits, I'm running. If he doesn't commit, I'm hitting the underneath route. Either way, I'm winning on 3 different scenarios with J.J. McCarthy as my quarterback. I don't have that option with Cade McNamara.
And you could win from behind. So, J.J. McCarthy, listen, I will say this. You don't want to wait, and we've said this multiple times, you don't want to wait to lose the game before making the decision.
Thank you.
It's illogical. It's stupid.
Guys, I told you if you lose to Michigan State before the season started, before they were a 7-0 football team, I said it was a fireable offense, correct? Mm-hmm. If you lose to Michigan State because you walk out there and Cade McNamara looks like a bum, like he's looked for a majority of the year, it's an unforgivable mistake, in my opinion, if I'm a Michigan fan and Jim Harbaugh's the head coach. It's unacceptable. Jim, you know the football team better than anyone. I've seen it enough. I've seen the freshman enough to know that he can walk in, and yes, he may throw an interception or 2. Yes. He's 18 years old. He may throw and make mistakes. Absolutely. But that same 18-year-old can bust it for 70 yards or can throw it downfield and get us somewhere where you probably can't do anything remotely close to that with Cade McNamara. That's just the truth. So we talk about this with Trayvon Diggs. Mm-hmm. Give me the playmaker over the guy that just does nothing all game or is pedestrian. Give me the guy that will get beat but then make up for it by making a play. I'll take one interception from J.J. McCarthy because I know he'll bust one for 70 yards. I know he'll scramble, avoid a sack on third down, get a first down, or make a big play downfield. Harbaugh, it's on you now, man. It's on you. Don't waste it. Don't freaking waste a golden opportunity to actually compete and win a Big Ten title this year. Don't throw it away. You have the roster. Don't F it up.
All right. On that note, we've got to take a timeout. You guys, obviously, Michigan's got great defense, and so do our friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Yep, Guardian Alarm, terrific defense, including Michigan's defense. We've seen Aiden Hutchinson Saturday that he was tearing it up, but Guardian gets it. They have a good defense on and off the field, helps you feel personally secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, or even detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call this number, 800-STAY-OUT today. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping me and everyone else's family safe.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
All right, you guys. Now that we've given Adam some time to cool off after that QB discussion, we got to get him heated again. Mark Sanchez pissing off a lot of Detroit fans during the broadcast yesterday, kept saying that Matthew Stafford has finally found a home in LA, as if he didn't have one here and we didn't all appreciate him. I can speak for myself, obviously, and a lot of the fan base. I loved Matthew Stafford. I still love Matthew Stafford. His home was here in Detroit for 12 years, and he kept calling Detroit a small market team, and that's why we couldn't give him the things that he wanted, yada, yada. And then we have the video. He backpedaled a little bit and said this.
Qualify something I said earlier, Kev, about Stafford. I didn't mean about the fans not appreciating him, because I think the fans in the organization in Detroit knew who they had. It's more from a national media standpoint. You know, we just kind of overlooked them because of, their losing seasons and their small market.
To the sideline, the pass incomplete, and it's third down. And you talk about that, and it comes down to quarterbacks who are in the playoffs and in the postseason certainly get a lot more national attention, and that was, for Matthew Stafford, unfortunately, not a large part of his body of work with the Lions.
No doubt, and he didn't have that national stage at times, and when they did, they lost a couple playoff games. So,
I mean, look, that's the power of social media. I'm telling you, I promise you, he looked at his phone and he was absolutely getting blown up with mentions.
Definitely.
Yep.
And he's like, I probably messed. Dude, he played for 12 years in Detroit. Don't misspeak like that. Come on, be responsible a little bit.
And
it's bad enough the fan base. Honestly, it's bad enough the fan base had to deal with. I mean, again, your former franchise quarterback in a way better situation. You got to play him down. 16.5-point underdogs. That is not the narrative you try to drive home, Mark Sanchez. He totally misspoke. I know he went back on it after, but guys, Matthew Stafford. Can we stop? Can we stop now? Can we just agree he wasn't the problem in Detroit?
Yes.
Can we move on from this? Because it's very clear to me, and maybe you need to see more. That's on you. I'll let you evaluate how you evaluate. I'll evaluate him on how I like to evaluate things. And 7 games in, he's doing things you've never seen him do in Detroit. Now, that is a consequence of better coaching, a better front office, a better supporting staff. Simple, right? See, crazy how simple the game of football can be sometimes, Jeff. But I think what's probably most ironic about this game is it was a winnable game for the Detroit Lions, right? And Matthew Stafford was on the winning side of it. If he was the quarterback, this is a game they lose, right? It's just the Lions, they lose that game. It really justified, and I hope you guys really take this to heart. Sunday's game justified the Jared Goff trade. I understand they have Super Bowl expectations, but that is why. Jared Goff is regressing. He's going to be out of the league in 2 years. The Rams won the deal already. It's done. It's done. Jared Goff will be out of the league by the end of next year. He'll be done. Maybe a backup at best. You think Sean McVay's going to sit around and have a backup as his franchise quarterback? No. They went out. They were aggressive. Yes, they gave up 2 first-round picks, but they got their guy. And right now, their guy's got 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 6-1 as a starter, almost 2,200 yards passing in, 7 games, averaging over 300 yards a game passing. He's got a more than 4-to-1 touchdown ratio. It's like 4.5 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Stafford is playing out of his mind. The Rams won the deal. The Lions also won the deal. Why? Because they got a bridge quarterback, and they knew they were going into a rebuild, and they know 2-3 years from now they hopefully are a very good football team because they've had 3 drafts to get it right. And if you can't get it done in 3 drafts, I mean, that's pretty damning as a GM. But, again, all about Stafford, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. And to all you suckers that say you can't support... Well, shut up. The Rams, I told you a million times, are going to win 10, 12 games with or without Matthew Stafford. He just takes them to an elite level. And they're 6-1 and not top of their division. That's kind of saying something. Oh, their only loss to the undefeated Arizona Cardinals, who I got to admit, were freaking totally spot on about. They are not pretenders at all. Arizona's legit.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't... Why are the Buccaneers 6-1? Can you remind me? Who the hell beat the Buccaneers? Oh, the Rams and Matthew Stafford.
There you go.
How ironic. Guys, he's happy. Detroit should be happy. You're in a rebuild. I understand you're 0-7 and it's frustrating and you're not sure what to look forward to. Look forward to, ideally, if this organization gets its shit together, that you're going to be a good football team in 2 to 3 years. That's your reality. It's not going to be next year. Now, next year, you could win 5, 6, 7 games, sure. But you really got to take the Cleveland-Cincinnati approach now. You got to get the young guys in. You got to get the quarterback right. And you got to get weapons. And if you can do that, you can win football games with any kind of roster, not even just a good one. That's the reality.
And you're 100% spot on. And I'm surprised Mark Sanchez, who, listen, if anybody knows not to be appreciated, it's Mark Sanchez. He was with the Jets for the first 4 years, went to Philly, went to Dallas, Washington. He was out of the league. So in terms of Matthew Stafford, I want to talk about him real quick. 12 years with the Detroit Lions. There's a difference between small market and just being a bad football team. Because small market in the NFL means you're not very good. Detroit, in terms of America and other cities, is a bigger market. But in the NFL, they've been incompetent. They've been, pretty embarrassing over the last, since 1991. So that is what he's talking about, and I do understand that. Not surrounding Matthew Stafford necessarily with the right coaching staff. With the, he had a good team in 2014. There was multiple points where he had teams, but for the most part, I get his point about not correctly supporting him. From the fan side of it, I didn't like his comment about people not, because everybody loved Stafford. Everybody I know, at least, there was not too many critics of Stafford. It was more so on their organization, the team around him. There was some bonehead mistakes, of course, that we can,
He deserves his criticism for his time in Detroit.
Does.
He made mistakes, guys.
But he's human.
When you're the quarterback of the Detroit Lions,
you're bound.
Good luck. And you know what? I don't want to rip the team right now, but God damn it, I got to make the point. Like, somebody's got to say it. If Stafford can't overcome the Detroit Lions, who the hell can? Honestly. What quarterback are you going to go out and find that can overcome this organization? Now, to be fair to them, Sheila's in charge now. All right, whatever. Brad Holmes, I have faith in Brad Holmes. I really do. We'll see how his next draft plays out, how the offseason plays out. Is he going to be able to make moves? How's he going to handle all this dead cap space? Cool. Dan Campbell, yes, they're 0-7, but the guy's got something. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it translates week to week or even next year or the year after. I don't yet. And I don't think any of us know yet. But it's still something. And I'd rather have that than some bum head coach like a Freddie Kitchens or a Hugh Jackson. So I'm going to give him a pass there. And like I said, I'm going to give him the whole year. I'm not going to worry about it. And by next Thanksgiving, you should be able to tell if he can coach in the NFL.
100%.
Because the team will be better next year. He'll probably be, 4-5 by next year, or 3-6. Who knows by Thanksgiving of next year what the record will be? Maybe they'll have a winning record. Who knows? The point is, you'll know if you have something there in a special way. And if you do, great. If you don't, okay. You know that when the team actually gets good, you're probably going to have to move on. That's it. How easy and how simple. How else can I explain this for you guys? Look how easy it is.
Look at Cleveland.
But
talk about small markets. That's my point. Like Cleveland, Cincinnati. If you're winning,
this isn't the NBA, Jeff. I mean, people are wrong about this, and you know they are.
No,
because markets don't really matter in the NFL. It's a 53-man roster. You're going to the team that can pay you the most, or you're going to the team that can win now. That's what you do as a veteran in the NFL.
But my point is the relevancy. Like, look at the Cleveland Browns. Look at where they've came from. That is my point. I don't think necessarily Detroit Lions, you could pull the whole, they're the Detroit Lions. Or the famous catchphrase all Lions fans have, there's always next year.
Dude,
like,
I'm sorry to cut you off.
To,
there's an idiot in the chat. And you know me. I don't let them sit without being addressed. Arian Chambliss, whatever your name is, we have no cap because your GM, meaning Brad Holmes, gave it all to Goff. Just so you know, buddy, if he didn't restructure Goff's deal, he wouldn't have been able to sign half of his rookie draft class. Why? Because Bob Quinn and company did an awful job managing the salary cap. Just so you know. Just so you know. Maybe you should look into this. If he doesn't restructure and guarantee Goff's deal $30.5 million next year, he's not able to sign half of his draft class. So you tell me what Brad Holmes should have done. You would have done the same damn thing, knowing that you're committed to this guy for the next 2 years. So stop this nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. You were going to sign your rookies.
Yep, had to. You had to, so hit it right in the head there. But give it 2 to 3 years. I mean, we mutually agree there. You got to get a bigger sample size for this team. I mean, to at least know what they're doing. Give Brad Holmes 2 drafts. Give Dan Campbell 2 seasons, and you'll get a good idea. Because if you know, you know. And we agree there. If you know, you know. And with this team, I think it takes a little longer to know, because if the team has already had talent on it, we know already what Dan Campbell is. But it's too early to really take anything big from it. But 2 to 3 years, I think there'll be more positive things. Expecting Brad Holmes hits on these next 2 drafts with 2 first-round picks in each of them, which, I expect.
I'm not understanding some of our chat. I don't know if they're saying Stafford shrunk or maybe they're misquoting. But guys, the dude was 9 of 13 on third down. If any quarterback, I don't care if it's Mark Sanchez, goes 9 of 13 on third down, it's a damn good quarterback, and that's a damn good game for a quarterback. So. Yeah. I'm not sure what we mean there.
He wasn't on the field for a good 6 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, again, guys, Brad Holmes is doing fine. Give him a break. He needs 2-3 years. Same for Dan Campbell. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm going to criticize the team when they deserve it, and I'm going to praise them like today when they deserve it. Simple.
There you go.
You're 0-7, yes. Oh, we should have 3. Shut up. I hate that. Stop. No, you're an 0-7 football team. Enough. You're not very good. How you've been in these games honestly blows my freaking mind. But move on. Just move on. Whew. Kennedy, we got to go.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, that means we're going to move on. Coming up next, we're going around the NFL. We will fill you in on all of the games that happened yesterday. It'll be a ton of fun. And Adam has to admit that he was wrong about something. Don't worry, people. I will make it happen. So make sure you stick around for that. But first, Jeff, our flow god, needs to tell you where he gets his hair done.
All right, guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, and Lady Jane's can help you with that. You come in, they're open 7 days a week, 10 to 7, or 10 to 8, excuse me. You walk in anytime, sit in one of these chairs. You get to watch sports, Sports Center, all your favorite sports teams on the televisions. Talk to the lovely ladies. You walk out with a nice, fresh haircut. So walk in anytime, 7 days a week, and before you know it, you're looking fresh. You know why? You know why you go? It's because it's wicked awesome. Lady Jane's.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Woodward Sports, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Thanks so much for sticking around and hanging out with us on this, kind of a dreary, drab Monday morning. But you guys, lots of good games happening yesterday, so let's recap them all. First, we will start with the Panthers versus the Giants. Jeff, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, Sam Darnold's done. This guy, listen, I don't know. Sam Darnold, I don't know about Sam Darnold. If this is Matt Rule's quarterback, good luck. Good luck with him, because he's making even Joe Brady. And you could say what you want about Joe Brady, but Sam Darnold, man, 5 points in what? The first quarter. I mean, they looked really bad. And you know what? Say what you want about this defense. I think they didn't play the best game against Daniel Jones. I mean, Daniel Jones was doing everything. You saw the catch. One-hand catch. He was running using his legs. But overall, the Panthers, wow. 3-0, a lot of people gave him crap because they were, playing bad teams the first 3 games of the season, but now they only score 3 points the entirety of a game. Sam Darnold was benched. And I don't know why they put in Phillip Walker. Didn't make a lot of sense. 3 for 14. He was even worse. But Sam Darnold, he just can't. It's kind of a similar argument. I wouldn't say he's as bad as Jared Goff, but I will say this. The guy, he is not going to come out and just take you to victory, cruise you to victory, especially over a team like the Giants, who has a pretty formidable defense. I mean, Sam Darnold over the last 3 games has been 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions, 1 interception, limited scoring opportunities, and he is missing C-Mac. I will say that.
Look, Darnold's in a slump, man. He doesn't look good at all. It's not a good look for the Panthers. They started 3-0. They've dropped 4 straight, but you guys got to use context before you're going to try and come at Matt Rule. Matt Rule had the number 1 defense 3 games into the season for a reason. And then J.C. Horn goes down. And then they lose a linebacker, another player on injured reserve. Then they lose another secondary player to injured reserve. I mean, they're completely shot. And they're really hurt on defense. And then, of course, it doesn't... Guys, just look at the numbers. With Christian McCaffrey in the lineup and with him not in the lineup, you're limited. Darnold looks way better with McCaffrey. Any quarterback would look better with McCaffrey in the lineup. I'm not too upset with Matt Rule and Joe Brady here. I'm not going to kill them for it. And if I'm a Carolina Panther fan, I'm bought into Matt Rule and what he's done.
But
again,
he
took over
a little bit.
Hear me out first, and then go ahead.
All right.
5-11 before he took over, correct?
Yep.
They finished with that same exact record his year 1, right? You think, where's the improvement? It shows up long-term in the statistical category. They jumped 8 to 10 spots in every major category in Matt Rule's first season. Improvement. And that's with P.J. Walker as their quarterback for a majority of the year. Darnold walks in. Yes, they played a combined 0-9 3 football teams, but hey, they won those games. Darnold looked good, but then they lost McCaffrey. Then they lost J.C. Horn, their best secondary player. And oh my goodness, it was actually a rookie. It's unbelievable. C.J. Henderson was injured. They have problems, but I think if I'm a big picture guy, which I am, and I'm a Panthers fan, hey, we're good.
Yeah.
I think we need to readdress the quarterback position probably.
Yeah.
We do need to draft one long term. And we do need more skill position players because DJ Moore can't do it all by himself, and McCaffrey's always hurt. Go ahead.
No, and to your point, I will say this, and I'm not saying panic as a Panther fan, but C-Mac does do a lot for this football team. I mean, he even makes DJ Moore even a better player. I mean, you saw what he did, versus the Giants. He got plenty of opportunities. It's hard when him and Robbie Anderson are the only 2 guys out there. But I will say this: the last couple games they lost to the Eagles, very close game. I mean, the Eagles came back and won that game. Jalen Hurts, and then the Panthers in overtime. The Vikings in overtime. Now you got the Giants, who you lose 25-3.
Dude.
I think. Listen, before you toast this guy, I will say this: I don't like 3 points with C-Mac out. It's too big of a difference. But anyway, go on, roast this guy. What do you do?
Well, actually, okay. I'm sorry. My whole day was just thrown off. Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. Y'all want to look at Goff and Dan Campbell when Brad Holmes is killed. Do you not hear what we just said? Dude had to re-up Jared Goff and restructure his deal. Why? Because he wouldn't have been able to sign his draft class. Do you not understand? It wasn't just Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia that put the Lions in that salary cap position, you idiot.
How does he say that with a straight face?
It was your ownership, actually, too, because they're the idiots, Martha, Sheila, and Rob Wood, that sat up there and said, yep, if they don't win 9-10 games this year, we're expecting the playoffs, nothing less, or they're done. Oh, okay, so you put pressure on them. in a quarterback-heavy draft, and they go corner at number 3. The corners only played 10 games in 2 years, and all the mistakes. They went out and signed a bunch of veterans on 1-year deals, 2, 3-year deals. They signed Trey Flowers. Get out of here. Get out of here. Your organization and the front office prior put you in this position, not Brad Holmes. Shut up. Just shut the hell up. Moving on. What's the next game, Kennedy?
We're going to cover the Jets and the Pats. RIP the Jets losing 54-13. Holy cow. Ouch. Your thoughts, Adam?
One of the worst rosters in the NFL. Doesn't help when your rookie quarterback goes out, but they were never in that game. They were never in that game. They can't run the football. The O-line is atrocious. Yeah. They kind of have some playmakers, Crowder, Corey Davis, but that's not going to get you far. It'll get you some points, but, and then Robert Saleh's defense is not looking all that great. But to be fair to them, they're in a rebuild too. So I'm not going to trash the Jets too hard. Good for Mac Jones, but he's 3-0 against 2 rookie quarterbacks. 2-0 against Zach Wilson, 1 against David Mills. I mean, yeah, Mac Jones looked good, but it was the Jets, so I'm not going to overreact.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give him credit, obviously. Anytime Mac Jones comes out there, throws over 300 yards, doesn't have an interception, which a lot of these QBs, especially the rookies, have been turning the ball over. And hopefully Zach Wilson gets better. I know he went out with the PCL injury they were expecting it to be. He looked decent before he got injured. But, yeah, like you said, the Jets never had a chance. They were down 14-0 in the first quarter. The New England comes out in the second quarter, scores 17. The game was away in the half. So credit, though. We'll allude this back to the Lions. Listen, 54-13, you'll take some of those losses year one for Robert Saleh, but at least we haven't gotten blown out this bad.
You lost to the Bengals pretty bad, but yeah.
But 54. That's. Hey, anyway,
you lose your quarterback. Again, Matt White. Was it Mark White? Mike White. Whatever his name is.
I'm gonna be honest though. He kind of looked like 200 yards. He had a touchdown, 2 picks, 20 for 32.
He was awful.
It could have been Zach Wilson numbers at the end of the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they just gave up when Zach Wilson went down. But the next game was ugly. Chiefs Titans. Patrick Mahomes took a nasty hit. They say he's okay. He cleared concussion protocol. But guys, why you don't jump the gun 2 years in and call somebody the next GOAT?
Yeah, Madden botched that one.
Big time. And I feel bad for him. I actually do. And why I feel bad for a Super Bowl quarterback, nothing's working this year. The Chiefs lead the NFL in turnovers with 17. They're a 3-4 football team. I was killed. Let's keep in mind, I was killed for saying they're not a top 10 football team. And then they won a game. You kind of have to put them back there because they are the Chiefs. You have to respect them. But they will never reach my top 10 for the remainder of the year, even if they're 6-4 at some point in the season. They won't be.
Nope.
Unbelievable. They're so bad. The defense is the worst defense in the NFL. Travis Kelce doesn't look like himself. Tyreek Hill, I'm not sure if the injury's hurting him, but they just don't look great.
Yep.
And it's hard to be great for this many years. So they need to retool. They need to load up. Our pick looks really good. They're not coming out of the AFC. I think that was the obvious pick. A lot of people didn't think so, but Chiefs, they just didn't look good, man. What are you supposed to do? Titans look really good. They're a top 10 team in the NFL. The King, I think, should be in the MVP conversation for sure.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, another good game. They Kansas City, historically, this defense has been not just the worst in the NFL. They've given up so many big plays, and you saw the Tennessee Titans come out, score 14 in the first quarter. Kansas City already abandons the run as it is. If you go down 14-0 in the first quarter, say less. Andy Reid is saying, we will pass the ball every single down. And you saw it. Patrick Mahomes, he had the most rushes on the team. He was 20 for 35, 206 yards before that really nasty hit he took. I thought it looked like he broke his neck when he went down. But other than that, they've been very disappointing. Tyreek Hill, the injury does not look the same, like you just said. He hasn't had too many big shot plays. What do you have? 49 yards last night. So it is what it is. The Chiefs, this is the year for them to just decline and come back maybe possibly next year. But this year, they're struggling. I think Patrick Mahomes has the most turnovers he's had in his whole career, and that is because of how bad this defense is historically. You feel like you have to win games with your arm, and obviously Patrick Mahomes has been pretty careless with the football, and it's come back to bite him. So credit to the Tennessee Titans. They got a good win, man. It's impressive.
All right.
Go ahead,
Moving
Kennedy.
on, the next game, the Bengals making me feel better about last week. They take the win over the Ravens, 41-17. Your thoughts, Adam?
Oh my goodness, I put so much money on this game having the Bengals to win. My goodness, I was so happy with it. Bengals look damn good.
Oh yeah, hit
Damn
the over,
good.
baby. Let's go.
Damn good. Dude, Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp are the two best receivers in the NFL right now, and one of them's a rookie. And people slated the Bengals for taking Jamar Chase. That connection was real. That's why they made that decision, and this kid is an absolute baller.
Yeah.
He's already sealed up Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's not even a question. If anything, he's right now fighting for Offensive Player of the Year. Jamar Chase, damn good. Joe Burrow had a good game. Bengals defense is good. Bengals defense look good. They gave Lamar Jackson problems, so good for them. Bengals top the division, a huge road win. First time Lamar Jackson's lost in October, and the first time he's lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. Not bad.
All right, you guys. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. We got to get to this game. Adam said going into the weekends, the Bears were going to take this dub. But let me read something off for you really fast. Field stats from this game: 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles, 2 which were lost. Adam.
This was so bad. Look, guys, I picked an underdog.
Don't
What do you want
bet
from me?
against the goat.
I put $100 on the
Don't
underdog.
bet
I'm
against the
sorry.
goat.
It's my money. I can do what I want with it. Dude, I'm going to say 2 things, and I want your opinion on it.
Okay.
And it's actually very concerning for me. I think Justin Fields can work in the NFL. I just think Chicago is one of the worst franchises right now, especially for quarterbacks. Matt Nagy's probably going to get fired. The GM probably needs to get fired, and they need to go through a complete rebuild. Now, when you trade up and get your quarterback, how long do you give him? He doesn't look good right now. But you know what also doesn't look good? Allen Robinson being open half the time and him not throwing the ball to him. He's missing reads. This is a problem. Justin Fields has a problem. It's not just that he's on a bad team. He's not playing good at all. And I don't know what you need to instill confidence in this kid, but when you trade up to get a young franchise quarterback and he looks like that, hard to keep your job, Jeff. I'm not sure where to go with this for Matt Nagy and Justin Fields.
No, and you know what? Listen, it kind of doesn't support the narrative of Ohio State quarterbacks not working out. But you know what? It is the situation he's in. It's not necessarily Justin Fields and his talent individually. I mean, you said 3 interceptions, didn't have a touchdown. What do you expect? I mean, it's the Buccaneers. Their pass rush is disgusting. And we saw what Myles Garrett did against, to Justin Fields. He still wakes up at night from nightmares from that man. So you think about it. They come out, the Buccaneers, they absolutely swarm the man. And more importantly, I want to talk about Tom Brady. Because 20 for 36, yeah, he didn't throw the ball as efficient as he liked to, but 21 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, arguably the best start of his career, 21 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, absolutely ridiculous. Coming off a Super Bowl win, we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs having a slump. No excuses for the Buccaneers. They're 6-1, and other than the loss to the team that we expect, top 2 in the NFL, they played well, and they come out and absolutely shut down the Bears. Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, I mean, he was their best wide receiver, Allen Robinson. He just hasn't been getting going, and you could blame Justin Fields. You can blame the offensive coordinator. Matt Nagy obviously gave over the play calling duties, but whatever the case may be, they're running the ball, and it's still not working out for Justin Fields. So hopefully they get this thing together, either get the right coach in play, or hopefully year 2, Justin Fields kind of makes that step. But I'm not surprised. I mean, it's Super Bowl champions.
The Bears look bad.
Versus the Bears.
I don't care. I don't care. That's awful.
And Tampa, too. In Tampa. You're asking.
I don't care if it was in Cincinnati. I don't care if it was in Hawaii. That's really bad. It doesn't matter. That was so bad.
Yeah,
it was. You can't have those kind of games in the NFL. You can't.
Hey,
it could have easily been 100-0. The Patriots, excuse me, not the Patriots. The Buccaneers were just... we'll just run the ball.
To their credit, Packers, I mean, that was week 1, but they did lose similar score, 30-35. So, I mean...
Well, when you trade up to get a quarterback and he's not working out, I mean... Look at Kyle Shanahan right now. He needs Trey Lance to get healthy. It's just the reality. Jimmy G is... He's past it.
Yeah.
He's past it. He's not going to win you the football games he used to be able to win you. And you can't win without a starting quarterback. I don't care how good of a head coach you are. Look at Bill Belichick. You're not winning without a quarterback. So we got to hit the break, don't we?
We do. You guys, when we come back, we'll give you something to look forward to. We're going to be talking Pistons. They're taking on the Hawks tonight. But before we go, we need to hear about our friends at Underdog Fantasy.
Guys, let's talk about Underdog Fantasy. The NFL season is underway, but you can still draft a new fantasy team each and every week on the Underdog Fantasy website or the app to win cash prizes. Through their slick mobile and user-friendly site, you can join a league and draft within minutes. So just visit underdogfantasy.com, visit the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download the app, sign up today using code WSN, and Underdog Fantasy will match your first deposit. They will give you a free $10 on your first deposit. So sign up again using code WSN, and the great people at Underdog Fantasy will give you a free $10. Try it out.
You'll be dying to get your hands on Papa Romano's gruesome twosome. This spectacular deal gets you 2 large one-topping pizzas for a limited time for $19.99. Order now at paparomanos.com.
Morning, Art. Morning, D-Mac.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuning in to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. All right, the Pistons taking on the Atlanta Hawks tonight at 7:30. Remember, they are away to the Hawks. We will not see the Pistons at home until the 30th, and that's, I think, when we're expected to see Cade back in action as well. Fingers crossed there. The Pistons walking in tonight's game 0-2, while the Hawks are 1-1. But, Jeff, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, the Pistons have kind of found themselves in a slump early on. I mean, they've versed the Chicago Bulls twice, a team that I would say top 5, top 6 of the Eastern Conference, and might even be higher, noted. But more importantly, the Pistons have been, they've been turning the ball over, and they've been shooting poorly. And that's something that Cade Cunningham can help both of those areas in when he's back, but he's not coming back till they come back to the Detroit, to Little Caesars Arena. He's out for the entire road trip, and here they are. They go to Atlanta, who's missing Danilo Gallinari and their first-round pick from last year. So, you know what? I don't know. I like the Pistons' chances in every game. They're one of those young teams that, similar to the Wings, I mean, even last year, they play good teams better than they do worse teams. I mean, that's a sign of a young team. But more importantly, I think they're going to miss Cade Cunningham over the course of this road trip. I mean, in general, the guy, he's going to help you in the turnover categories. He's going to help you in at least shooting, because the team has been poor shooting. He's going to create better shots for you guys. So, overall, not much to expect. I want to see Killian Hayes bounce back. I mean, we're waiting on it. We're waiting on this guy to at least give us something, show us something. I mean, Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart, they've shown flashes. Isaiah Stewart being on the defensive end, he's been efficient, getting to the rim, being aggressive. Sadiq Bey, I mean, we want to see him shoot better, of course, but other than that, the guy's been at least trying and taking attempts. Killian Hayes is kind of the guy I'm going to be watching. Trae Young, going to be a focal point of this defense, and they come out, going to see point guard action. So, it's going to be a good game nonetheless. I mean, I still have the Atlanta Hawks probably pulling it out. They're a good team. They were in the playoffs last year. They gave everybody a run in the Eastern Conference, but hey, won't be surprised if the Pistons keep this close, win by 6 to 10 points. I mean, it would not surprise me at all.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Hawks blew them out by 56.
Either one. I mean, they've
lost 2 bad games to the Bulls.
But
they need Cade back. They need another scorer. Killian Hayes is not providing that at all.
No.
Sadiq Bey seems like he's out there on an island by himself at times playing. Jeremy Grant doing okay to start the year, nothing special. Beef Stew looking good, though. Got to say, he's looking really good. Proud of him. But Killian Hayes, man, this is like the X factor right now. Like, I think I would consider having Killian Hayes as my starting quarterback over Jared Goff, but I just wanted to throw that in there just for giggles. But
you got to take a shot.
Jeff, what do we make of Killian Hayes right now? He's not playing well.
No,
he's not scoring. He's not attacking the rim, which I think is really weird.
It is.
He's
weird.
Settling a lot. And this is a guy that I think can really get to the rim. He's got good handles.
Good
he's
size.
Quick.
6'5". I mean,
he's not a small point guard.
No.
So he's not attacking the rim. What do we need to see, or what would you like to see out of him going forward?
It's got to be.
That will kind of reassure you like this kid still has something to offer. I'm not saying we're bailing on him, but it's not good right now. You still need to give him time. Like I said, he needs 120 games before you kind of know if he's going to work out or not. But still, what are you? He needs to be more aggressive attacking the basket, in my opinion. And the Pistons don't have or field a lineup where there's people blocking the paint. Like, we're a pretty small team.
And more importantly, since Cade's out, ball handling duties are spread around. Killian Hayes, this is a perfect opportunity. If you talk about opportunities. You have an opportunity right now with Cade Cunningham, arguably the ball handler of this team. There's going to be a couple of them, but Cade's going to be the main guy. He's out right now, and you have a shot. Killian Hayes, he's played 20 minutes in both of the games. To your point, hasn't been attacking the rim, and if you attack the rim, it opens up playmaking opportunities, easy buckets. He's had, 3 assists, 2 assists. For a guy who's expected to handle the ball probably about 50% of the time compared to the rest of the team, especially in this stretch of games, you're expecting upwards of 6 to 8 assists from Killian Hayes straight up. And at least, 0 points, 2 points? 0 for 6, 1 for 5? This is not what you want to see. Obviously, you want a bigger sample size. Let me get 10 games of what his stats look like. But it all goes back to being more aggressive because, like I just said, you're being more aggressive, you're attacking the rim, or just shooting threes for that matter. It's opening up so much more for your team. And he hasn't been doing that, so he hasn't been able to play make for the rest of his team. He's only had 5 assists in the last 2 games. So that's what I want to see. Limit your turnovers, make more plays, because I know he has it in him. We drafted him because of his playmaking ability and his size. He has great size. He just isn't utilizing it. And I'm not giving the young excuse. Dwayne Casey alluded to it too as well. I can't keep giving him the young excuse. He'll grow into being able to absorb contact. No. You can't. You look at Luka Doncic his first year. Luka was a madman his first year, running at the rim, trying to injure himself. Didn't get injured, luckily, but he was out there being aggressive. That's a guy who's played European ball. And Killian Hayes has played professional ball in Germany, but he doesn't look like he's handling the physicality of the NBA very well, and I want to see him pick it up in both trying to get aggressive, be aggressive, and try and score the ball, or just get assists, pass the ball around, share the rock, and try and do some other things. But he hasn't shown me neither, so that's what I want to see, man. Both of them.
Again, you nailed it right on the head, man. This is a young basketball team. They'll pick it up. But regarding tonight's game, a tricky game.
Tricky.
There's one thing you expect of Killian Hayes, or at least Dwayne Casey does, is on-ball defense. And he'll have a hell of a challenge tonight against Trae Young.
Oh, yeah.
So at least you get to see that and probably look forward to that performance. We got a few minutes before we head to break. I want to transition really quickly back to the Lions and Brad Holmes. So there's a lot of chatter going on about how they should have handled the Stafford trade, whether or not it was the right decision. Should they have gotten the number 9 pick from Carolina? Look, when Stafford demanded a trade, yes, he said he didn't care where he went. He just wanted to move on. But after that meeting, or that coincidental meeting out on vacation with Sean McVay, he knew where he wanted to go. And the Rams offered a deal they didn't get from anybody else, guys.
Good deal.
Carolina just offered a pick swap for Stafford.
Yeah.
1 pick. You got 2 firsts and a few compensatory and a few later round picks. So come on.
And a quarterback who can at least start for you for the next 2 years.
He's a bridge quarterback.
He's a bridge.
So was Teddy freaking Bridgewater.
Yeah. Yeah.
As if that's some great solution. How's he doing out in Denver? Injury prone?
Yeah.
Throws the ball kind of okay. Nothing great. Come on, guys. Stop the nonsense. Stop. Brad Holmes, if there's any mistake Brad Holmes made, you want to say there was a mistake, it could be not taking a chance on a playmaker in the second round. That's it.
Yep.
They went with Aleem McNeil. I didn't hear about him. How'd he do? You know how he did on Sunday? Because I sure as hell didn't. May not be a good thing, may not be a bad thing either.
I get you. I get what you're saying.
I didn't hear or see from him at all.
The Rondo Mullers, the Asante Samuels, these are second round
It's really
guys.
the Asante Samuel one that bugs me.
But there were other guys like you said.
But there are guys like, an Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
You have, you could have traded up, maybe even gotten a Rashad Bateman.
Right.
You knew you needed a wide receiver. But again, I said this before the season started. The Lions and Brad Holmes will tell you everything about what they think of Jared Goff through the draft and through free agency. And what do you know? What'd they do, Jeff? Address the O-line, address the D-line. Kind of got a wide receiver, but meh. They didn't go out and sign any big wide receivers. They blew the Perriman deal. They know they're in a rebuild for the next 2 years. They know that. So when they fall in love with the quarterback, they will take him. And they will move on. But until then, stop complaining and crying about Jared Goff and Brad Holmes, please. Jared Goff is doing you a favor. He's losing you football games. God bless you, Jared. God bless you. Keep playing the way you're playing. Please. It's just unfortunate that the Lions get the number 1 overall pick in a draft class where nobody's in love with any quarterback.
There's no Kyler Murrays. Do
you want to wait for Arch Manning to come out? Honestly, that's like a real serious question. How patient do you want to be? He's a junior in high school right now?
Yeah. You got
so you got 3-4 years? Jesus Christ.
Please, no.
I'm telling you, jeez, man. Fuck. Well...
Yeah, it is a Lion.
Kennedy, I'm sorry. It just hit me. But, it can finish. Make sure we cut that out. But it's so frustrating.
No, it is. It is
that's
a Lion.
The next Trevor Lawrence-esque kind of hype quarterback coming out, and you're not going to see him till 3-4 years when you're probably a good football team.
You're an idiot.
Well, we don't know.
Anyway,
We'll never know.
On that note, we're going to go talk about Papa Romano's. We've got Monday Night Football tonight. Saints taking on the Seahawks, which means I will be ordering pizza because I don't like to cook. I don't want to chef it up while I'm trying to watch the big game. Jeff, tell the people about Papa.
All right, listen, Papa, it's Monday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to go to Papa Romano's and get similar to something that I'm going to get tonight. It's 2 large pizzas, 1 topping, both of them, for what? Only $19.99, and this offer's good all the way to the end of the month. Get it now. It's the Gruesome Twosome from Papa Romano's. Go check it out now.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning into the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. All right, we're going to talk some more college football. You know, the AP Top 25 comes out every week. So going into this week, I will tell you where everyone is sat at. But Adam, where do you want to start? I'm assuming not all 25 because who cares about BYU being at 25?
Let's start with Penn State. I think that was the most accurate movement I've seen in a while.
Okay.
They deserve to fall to 20. Honestly, I would have had them out of the top 25. I think teams like Arkansas, teams like Houston are more deserving of a top 25 ranking right now than Penn State. Close loss against Iowa, really bad loss against Illinois, 9 overtimes. We don't have to get into it. And then you kind of look at the top 10. Notre Dame, I think, is too high at 6-1. They're 11.
Stop.
Kennedy, that's for you. Sorry, I have to.
That's not even. I was there.
Good.
They deserve it.
Wow, they're so good.
Kyle Hamilton.
Kennedy,
injured.
I'm
gonna freak out.
There are 5 teams at 6-1 or undefeated that I think should be higher than Notre Dame. You want me to start?
No.
And tell me if I'm wrong. Wake Forest undefeated 7-0. They should be above them.
Okay.
Kentucky should be above them. They almost beat Georgia, or they played a pretty damn close game against Georgia. Okay. Oklahoma State just lost, so they should fall out. I don't think they should be. Baylor, absolutely. They've won, 4 or 5 straight now?
Yeah.
Auburn, 5-2. I would take a 5-2 Auburn team over a Notre Dame team.
Crap.
I would take Pittsburgh over Notre Dame. So I just don't like Notre Dame. San Diego State.
I just don't like Notre Dame. There's
I'm
the
just being.
real
Hey, at least I'm
about
clearing up my bias. I'm just being honest. I don't like Notre Dame at all. I think they're a pathetic school. Anyways, moving on. Number 9, Iowa. I mean, okay, I'm okay with that. Moving back into the top 10, they won their football game. What are you going to do? Michigan State moving up 1 spot to 8. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Take it.
Oregon at 7. I think that's the right move. They had a signature win early on against Ohio State.
Still sticking
Dropped
with
the
them.
game to Stanford, but hey, they have the best edge rusher in the country, and it shows. If they will go out, and win the Pac-12, I see them as a college football team, playoff team, excuse me. And now it gets interesting, right? Number 7, Michigan. All right. Well, they won, guys. They won. They're 7-0. They should be at number 6. They shouldn't be over a 1-loss Ohio State team. Why? Because of recent history where they just haven't been able to beat Ohio State. And it's an unproven Michigan team. Ohio State is still proven. C.J. Stroud, yes, freshman quarterback, but he's playing well. Ryan Day has a good resume on him so far. I like what I'm seeing out of Ohio State. I don't mind them at 5. And now this is where I get really frustrated. There are 2 teams in the top 4 that shouldn't be there. There are 2 teams in the top 4 that maybe are top 10 teams. I don't think should be in the top 4. That's Oklahoma and Cincinnati. Oklahoma is the worst 8-0 team I've ever seen in my lifetime. They are not deserving of a college football playoff appearance, and they will get blown out if they play Georgia or Alabama.
That defense ain't holding up. They ain't going to hold up.
No. Their offense ain't holding up either.
I mean,
it doesn't look that great.
But they still what they win.
They beat freaking Kansas. It's a basketball school. And they've barely won like every single game they've played this year, and they've almost lost every single game.
We're taking it in two chunks. We're taking the Spencer Rattler version, or we're taking the Caleb Williams version.
The Caleb Williams version, they looked good the first 2 weeks. Teams didn't have film. Then Kansas came out and they showed how you can stop Caleb Williams in Oklahoma. And there you go. And I'm supposed to buy in that they're the fourth best team. I would take Ohio State over them. Hell, I would take Oregon over Oklahoma. And then we go to Cincinnati. Their schedule is a cakewalk. When are we going to acknowledge that these teams need to actually schedule teams? I'm sorry. You got to be in a power conference. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. I don't like this. I don't like Cincinnati at number 2. You put them against Bama, they're 10, 15-point underdogs. You put them against Ohio State, they're 10, 15-point underdogs. Hell, you put them against Michigan, they're probably a touchdown underdog. I don't like this. Why is Cincinnati the second best team in the country? Alabama is.
I got more of a problem with that. Like that second best team. I mean, and they just barely sneak away against Navy.
You have to beat the teams in front of you. I totally respect that. I understand it. But my goodness, they are not the second best team in the country. I don't like it at all. Maybe they're 4 or 5, but they're not. They're not 2. They're not 2. That's my biggest problem. Is the second team and the fourth team honestly haven't shown me anything this year. Who'd Cincinnati beat? Notre Dame?
Yep. Stop!
What a big win, Cincinnati! Clap it off. Congratulations, you beat Notre Dame.
I hate you guys.
You deserve to go to the college football playoff. Unbelievable. I don't like it. I would take a 2-loss Pac-12, Big 12, or Big 10 team over Cincinnati any day of the week. I don't like it at all. Kennedy, help me out. Should I defend?
No.
Can anybody here defend Cincinnati?
Can we at least make
Are we all cynics, or am I crazy?
All right, listen. Can we at least make this point that 2 of the teams in the top 5 have a freshman quarterback? And Michigan is in that top 6. I think what are they, top 6? I think they'll rise.
They're 7th right now.
7th right now.
Yeah. No. You're right. They're 6th.
Okay.
They're 6th.
So,
yep.
Listen, it's really not about how you win. It's just winning, I think. Because like you said, Oklahoma hasn't looked good necessarily in the big games. Michigan's been sneaking by a couple of these teams, but they're still undefeated. So they earned that 6th spot. But, yeah, you can make a real argument Ohio State over Oklahoma. I mean, I would make that argument as well. I mean, even though they lost to Oregon, the fact that they're not undefeated doesn't change the fact that they've looked better on both sides of the ball. Like, I believe when Oklahoma played Kansas, the quarterback had his best game of the season offensively. Like, their defense is atrocious. So just wait. College playoffs, we'll find out a lot about these teams, man. When they rank these teams 1 through 10, a lot of them get exposed. So we'll see.
I can't get over this guy in the chat.
Who?
He is insisting that Brad Holmes is the problem with the salary cap. You jackass. They had about 40 to 50 million in dead cap before Brad Holmes even walked in. You idiot. When they traded away Matthew Stafford, it was the right decision because they knew they were going to suck for the next 2 to 3 years. So they were going to rebuild and load up on draft picks. You idiot. They had to restructure Jared Goff's deal where they guaranteed him $30.5 million next year, to the point where they couldn't cut him originally like they could have at $10 million. No, they had to restructure it so they could sign their draft class. Are you actually still talking about this? Are you just naive, dumb, or are you just a troll? I don't know. I give up on you. You are a lost cause, my friend. What part of... and you know, I'm the first one to go up and criticize people. Believe me. Brad Holmes ain't one of them. He isn't. A GM walking into one of the toughest situations, knowing he's going to have to deal with a tough cap hit, knowing he has to trade Stafford because the kid requested a trade.
It was the toughest situation in the NFL.
He hauled in picks.
Yeah.
He got a bridge quarterback that'll make them lose games over the next 2 years, help their draft position, and we're supposed to dog him? This is unbelievable. I mean, guys, when are we just going to kind of use our brains a little bit? When? Help me. Help me help you. Back to Cincinnati. I don't think they're a top 5 team in college football. I don't. Guys, how are we supposed to allow this to even happen? You're telling me if Cincinnati goes undefeated, they deserve a college football playoff appearance because they beat Notre Dame? Michigan, you got it all wrong. You got to go. Everybody's got to be in some weak-ass conference, and they've got to figure it out. This is the reality. Notre Dame's got it easy. They play 1 or 2 teams a year, maybe. No real conference. Unbelievable. Come on.
Let me ask you this.
Come
Who
on.
wins?
It's not fair because I know what's going to happen. They're going to get blown out by an SEC team, and we're going to be like, man, we really put that team there. Guys, this is no different than Boise State, UCF, all these years. It's the same garbage every year. You want to be a respectable program, Cincinnati, Luke Fickell, go to a different conference. Go to a different conference and earn it. Stop. Oklahoma is going to become probably a Rutgers of the Big Ten once they join the SEC. Honestly. I don't care how good they can recruit. Oklahoma's going to lose 5-6 games every year in the SEC. And they're making a big mistake. But I don't like it. I hate that they're going to get in because they are going to go undefeated. And I think it's really bad for college football. Because nobody wants to see on January 1st an undefeated team lose by 57 to Georgia or Alabama. Nobody wants to see it.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Listen, we got two teams we have problems with in the top 4. Oklahoma, Cincinnati. Who wins if they were to face? Like, who would you hate more?
Oklahoma
Cincy.
would win by 30.
No.
Oklahoma would win by 30.
I disagree.
While
we're talking about Oklahoma, though, I do want to get your thoughts on Spencer Rattler and if you think he's transferring and where
he
the
needs
heck
to transfer.
would he
He
go?
lost his draft stock. He lost everything.
Who wants a quarterback?
Oh, there are
with
many
that
teams that would
attitude?
take a Spencer Rattler. Look, he's
there
played
is.
like
He's like
garbage.
the
There are
worst.
many teams that would take this kid. 100%.
Who?
Yeah.
He could walk into he could walk into Clemson right now.
Yeah.
I bet you any money.
Clemson's struggling this year.
DJ
It's
looks
weird.
god awful.
He's better than a
Horrible.
majority of quarterbacks.
No, the
I'm
kid's
not
not a
used to seeing
bum. He's
Clemson
just
like this.
look. He's playing like crap. He needs to transfer because he just lost a top 5 draft picks stock right away. I mean, I feel bad for him. It's kind of awful, but hell, he would play better than Jared Goff at least. I mean, if you're honest.
I don't know why, but something's telling me I want to see him at UCLA with Chip Kelly. I don't know why. I like that. That just sounds good. Him playing.
I
in
like
those
that. I
uniforms.
like that. Or Oregon. Take him to Oregon.
True.
I don't
Oregon would
mind
be
both
good, too.
scenarios, but
We'll see, though. We'll see.
we'll see how it plays out. He should transfer. He should try to get his draft stock back up to where it was. I don't think it'll ever reach that pinnacle, but he could maybe be a third, second-round quarterback. Who knows? I don't think he's a first-round pick anymore.
No. Definitely not.
Speaking of quarterbacks, we're going to hit on Jared Goff when we come back. I know you guys want to hear about it for sure. We'll give you a big list of all the quarterbacks that could do it better. How about that? All right, stick around for that. We will be right back. This is the Morning Woodward Show.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Morning Woodward Show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Woodward Sports Network on this beautiful Monday start of the week. Adam, what do you want?
We don't need to restructure a contract for Goff if we don't trade for him, you dummy.
Why are you like this?
People are so stupid, honestly. Like, I try to be, like, really nice to people, but this is too much.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay, genius. Let's say you trade.
Are you talking to me right now?
No, I'm talking to genius,
It's like, we can fight.
Mr. Arlen, whatever his name is.
Oh, he's
my
been
friend.
going-
Okay, let's say you don't trade for Jared Goff. Well, what were you expecting? Show me the reports of multiple, a first, a second, a third, and a fifth. Show me those reports. They didn't exist. The market was really dull on Matthew Stafford. It was competitive, but it wasn't too first-round pick competitive. And that's why the Rams were aggressive, and they got the guy. You got 2 first-round picks. Knowing that even if you went with a different trade scenario, let's say I acknowledge your comment, and you go with a different trade scenario, this is a bad football team for the next 2 to 3 years regardless. Regardless. So why are you so hung up on the cap space as if it's such a problem, it's a hindrance to this football team? It's not. They were going to be bad either way. And I'd rather them build through the draft with a guy who, let's say, doesn't Brad Holmes have a scouting background? We'll see how he does. You were going to have to rebuild whether you traded him to Carolina, Washington, or Los Angeles. That's the reality. So stop getting hung up and totally, bogged down by the idea of we traded for Goff, it messed up our salary cap, Who cares? Who cares? That's not the point. Kennedy, what do we got to talk about?
I was just waiting. We are going to get into Jared Goff. I know you said earlier the game was already over before he threw into triple coverage to pretty much seal the fact that this is the Lions' fate. They were losing, but what was your thoughts on his performance yesterday, Adam?
He is the worst quarterback in the NFL, and I am so proud to say that. I woke up on a Monday morning proud that Jared Goff is the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. It is great.
Oh, yeah.
It is absolutely great for them. They're going to have a high draft position in the next 2 years. They'll be able to make some moves. Who knows? Trade back, trade up. Who knows? All I know is this team is going to get very good quicker than people think. Why? They have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. Wow. Imagine getting 4 starters guaranteed, because that's what your first-round picks are. They're starters. When you take somebody in the first round, you expect them to join your starting 11. So my common sense test, I have 4 starters, and I know I'm 8 to 9 players away, which means all I got to do is get 2 or 3 guys in the 2nd to 7th round to hit in the next 2 years, and I need a free agent or 2. And if I can do that, I have a 9-10 win football team. There you go. Wow, it's pretty easy to break it down.
Yeah.
Football is a lot easier if you just think common sense, guys, a little bit. Team's not far away. Yes, there are a ton of players away, but if they just do their just handle their due diligence, that was a tongue twister, I'm not going to lie. If they just handle their business, they're going to be just fine, regardless of who their quarterback is. Why? Because let's say you take a flyer on a quarterback in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round this year, no problem. You sit him for the year. Goff leaves, you have cap space, everything opens up, you surround that rookie with good talent, and you have a good football team. And the quarterback learns similar to a Dak Prescott. That's kind of the scenario you're going for. You're going for the Dak Prescott in Dallas early on, the Russell Wilson in Seattle, the Mahomes in Kansas City. That's the model you're trying to find. Even Jared Goff to an extent in Los Angeles. That's what you're working on.
It was crazy because I was sitting there watching my TV and I was like, wow, normally by now Goff has had 3 turnovers. And so in the second I thought that to myself, he threw that pick, I was like, there it is. There's what I was waiting for. Because I was honestly annoyed that it wasn't happening yet because I just knew it was coming.
I'm so used to Jared Goff fumbling at least once and turning the ball over through the air at least once that yesterday versus the Rams, he didn't fumble once. I was actually shocked. That was a good game for me. He didn't fumble the ball. We should be positive, but he did turn the ball over twice. So like Adam said, he's 29th in QBR. He has 33 QBR. It's absolutely horrid. I mean, the guy has been bad, and you could blame what's around him. I know there's still the Jared Goff believers if you surround him with talent, you can still win games. Listen, there's a reason why Sean McVay got rid of him, and now he's in Detroit. He looks even worse. And you couldn't even use the term exposed because to really see what a quarterback is, you put limited. This is what Tom Brady does best. I know he's the GOAT, but other guys do best. When there's limited talent around you, you're still able to perform. And you got a guy like Jared Goff who's 21st in touchdowns. He has 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I mean, the guy has been a turnover machine. I mean, I keep saying this. 2nd behind Jameis Winston since 2016 in total turnovers. The guy is a turnover machine. And honestly, compared to his first 3 years to now, way different quarterback. The first 3 years, okay. He was taken number 1, maybe. Now it's, oh my God. He, like Adam says, arguably might be even out of a job in the next couple of years. So, I don't have no problem with the trade. Let me just address that now. I welcome Jared Goff in that trade package. 2 first-round picks, a 3rd round. You got Jared Goff, who is a bridge quarterback for the next 2 years. Heck yeah, you take that trade. Why would you take Carolina's pick? You still got to figure out, you got David Blau in there behind center. You don't have a quarterback. At least Jared Goff, he fixes. And even if Jared Goff, let's say, worked out, let's say he played well, number 1, I want the number 1 overall pick. I mean, I know there isn't a Kyler Murray in this draft, but it does not matter. It's value. It's what you can get for that number 1 overall pick. Lose as many games as possible. And if Jared Goff turning the ball over 15 times a game does it, so
what
be it.
What did you expect from Goff, honestly? Guys, I told you before the season, he was regressing. They traded him for a reason. No competent organization trades 2 first-round picks and a 3rd and their quarterback for another quarterback unless they know they're significantly upgrading, knowing that the other one is much younger.
100%.
Goff was regressing. This was so obvious. What'd you expect? Jared Goff to come out and look like year 3 in Los Angeles? No. Team's in a rebuild. He's not going to look good. And he's not going to look good for any other NFL team. That's the reality.
Yeah.
So Jared Goff is done. That's it. The Goff story is done. He won playoff games. He got them to a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford could never do that. Stop. Can we stop? Stop trying to justify Goff by using Stafford. No quarterback has ever proven they can overcome the Bears or the Detroit Lions organization. That's pretty tough to do. So until you get the right front office, the right head coach, and the right quarterback, you're not going to be winning any significant games. So may I remind you of that. It's not just on Goff.
All right. Well, I think we've laid in on Goff enough today, probably. I'm sure we'll pick it back up tomorrow, but I want to transfer us really fast to Monday Night Football. The Saints taking on the Seahawks at Seattle. You know, that is a very, very hostile environment that the Saints are going into, but your thoughts on the game tonight, Adam?
So I'm calling upset today.
Ooh.
I'm calling the Seahawks to win in a close game.
Okay.
I'm going to take 2017. I'm going to take the under in the game as well. I think it's a sloppy game. Geno Smith has his moments. I think both quarterbacks make mistakes. That's what keeps it so low scoring. And that's how I see the game playing out. I don't see anybody having a big night. And I'm also saying that because I'm biased and I'm an honest person. So I'm going to tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying now. It's not because, let's say, I'm totally bought into this idea. It's because, I'll be honest, I am the highest leading scorer in my fantasy football league this week.
Who's second?
And the guy behind me is about 21 points off, and he has DK Metcalf. And I want to win the weekly bonus of $100 for having the most points. So I'm hoping this is a low-scoring game and nothing big happens. And also, there's a friend I'm rooting for who is going up against Alvin Kamara, and I would like him not to go off as well.
You're reading my mind. I'm against Kamara and Metcalf today.
Oh, you're screwed.
Right.
Okay.
And
in the chat for Jeff.
Hey, I'm up 45. So yeah, probably
wow,
screwed.
it's gonna be tight.
It's gonna be tight.
Wow.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be real tight.
Well, good luck. You're gonna be nervous watching Monday Night Football. I'm gonna be chilling.
I'm gonna be what in bricks.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see. But I think the Saints. I don't know. Geno Smith. As much as I love his debut when he came into that game versus the Rams, everybody loved Geno Smith for about 2 quarters.
Can we stop? Can we stop this in the chat, Patty? You know I love you. I met you in person downtown at the Lions pregame show. Come on, man. It's a significant upgrade. Go find me a 7-game stretch in Jared Goff's career where he was 6-1, a 70% completion percentage, 2,200 yards passing, 9 yards a throw, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and the highest passer rating in the NFL. I think only Tom Brady has a higher one, if I'm correct.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe. Matthew Stafford's passer rating in Detroit, guys, 89.6. 89.6. His 3 games, his 7 games in Los Angeles, his quarterback rating is, if it wants to tell me, 116.7. Guys, that is almost a 30-point leap in passer rating. That's like one of the most difficult things ever. It's a very telling stat. Aaron Rodgers, he has a better passer rating than Aaron Rodgers this year. And Aaron Rodgers is lighting up the league. He's doing very good outside of that one bad game. He hasn't thrown an interception since.
And Jared Goff's right around where he's always been. I mean, so
come on, guys. No, it's a clear upgrade. Stafford will not lose in the first round. It's not going to happen. Look, Stafford didn't play well in his final 2 playoff games. I am willing to acknowledge that. He played for the Detroit Lions and Jim Caldwell and Jim Schwartz. Guys, use some context, please. What quarterback could overcome those idiots? Tell me. Jim Caldwell's an idiot.
No, he's not.
He's overrated. He's a good head coach. He's not great. You know what Sean McVay is? That's a very good to great, borderline great head coach.
Yes.
The organization in Los Angeles, that's a great organization. You never had that in Detroit, even when you were winning 10 games and getting to the playoffs. So enough. Stop this. It was a significant upgrade. Everybody knows it, and the stats prove it. The guy is 7 games in, 6-1, and is playing out of his mind. When has he ever had a 4.5 to 1 touchdown interception ratio? When has he ever had a passer rating this high this late into the season? Never. I'll tell you, never. In his 12 years in Detroit, he had 5 games where he threw for over 320 yards, 3 touchdowns or more, and 0 interceptions. He's done that 3 times in 7 games in Los Angeles. It was a significant upgrade. Enough.
Nailed it.
Sorry.
You good?
Yeah, I just had to get that off my chest.
I got the bad boys. Check this out. Here we go.
That
This
shirt
perfect.
is
Game
sweet,
day.
Jeff.
Mahorn.
I'm excited for tonight.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right, you guys. Well, lots to look forward to tonight with the Pistons game and Monday Night Football. So have so much fun with that. We've got Big D Energy coming up next. They'll be squad deep. It'll be Neil and D-Mac today, I'm pretty sure. And I'm sure that means they will be breaking down that Lucas Raymond hatter for you guys. So it should be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Woodward Sports.
I'm sorry. I got to do this. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. People are freaking asking for this.
A buzzer beater right now?
No. Just give me 1 second. We're going to have to go over a little bit because I'm going to have to just take care of some business.
Out.
No. This is very important, Kennedy. I'm telling you.
I was 2 words from the show ending.
I'm sorry. Well, you're going to have to deal with this. 2011 when they started 5-1. Let's see this football team. Here we go. Come on. Load up for me. All right, their first 6 games. You guys ready? All right, 5-1. So when he was 5-1, Matthew Stafford had a combined total of. How do I do game by game log? This is not helping me. Oh, here we go. I got it. I got it. Chill out. Matthew Stafford, in his first X amount of games, 6 games, had fewer touchdowns, more interceptions, a lesser completion percentage, and a lesser quarterback passer rating. So how about that? You can end the show now.
Okay.
I wasn't going to let that one slide before we go. Sorry.
Bye, everyone. This has been the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network.